is like 20 minutes long. Get to the end of it already.
20 minutes, my ass, you lying cunt. Fuck you, Babs. You're not worth it.
Yeah, whatever. What you need to realize, though, is that there are two different ways that you're measuring the pressure.
What I need to do is say goodbye to
with a barometer,
Good day,
which is
sir.
either measuring kinetic
Don't address
energy
me.
or
Don't talk
the
to
downward
me.
vector.
I'm not here, Babs. Goodbye.
You're talking to me, so I'm going to address you regardless. But
motherfucker, I'm gone. I'm
then
leaving.
Why are you still talking? Get out of here.
Because I'm telling you to quit fucking talking to me as though you think you're going to make some point on me while I'm not fucking here, you pussy coward. Shut the fuck up about me. Talk to the others, not about me.
Get out of here already.
Fuck you.
Get out of here already. You're going to monologue some more? Really?
If I feel like monologuing, I'll start doing it.
He's just trying to.
There will be no monologuing some more.
This is just part of the obfuscation.
He's trying to protect.
God damn it,
it's part of the obfuscation.
Everything is about posturing.
I get it.
That's all he's doing.
I get it, yeah.
He's fundy muting you. He's fundy muting you with his complaint.
Oh, fuck you too, Brummy. All he did was fucking talk over me to start this shit.
Stop fundy muting.
Don't talk to me about fundy muting, you fundy faggot bitch.
You're talking over me. The only person that can be heard right now is you. I can't even be heard right now.
He's just trying to fundy mute everybody. That's why he's talking. That's the only reason he's participating, just to muddy the waters. But he's gone. So what was you going to say about him? What was you going to say? Don't forget your point, because that was his goal, for you to forget his point.
Oh, shut up, Brummy.
My point
shut the fuck up, Brummy. You just interrupt.
Fucking idiot.
Brummy.
What was your point, Space Pope?
My point is that there are two different ways you can measure this pressure. You could measure it using a mercury barometer, which is going to measure downward vector, or you could also use a different type of barometer, which measures kinetic energy. But the thing is what is causing those two different things to happen, right? You could say that the pressure is being caused by the column of atmosphere above us, or you could say that it's being caused by the kinetic energy. So I find that it's not there's no precise answer to that, to why it's happening.
There is a precise answer. It's caused by gravity.
No, you can't conclusively.
Why not? No, like to say that, Brenda. You got destroyed earlier. You couldn't demonstrate gases being held down by gravity.
Oh yeah, that was the point. Yeah, where can you show that? Where can you demonstrate in an experiment?
Yes, Brenda.
That was my point.
Experiment to see how we were losing atmosphere.
No,
the experiment to show how gas can be held down by gravity.
And Brenda went, well, you get a container inside a container.
Yeah, Brenda doesn't know what containers is.
Well, that's what do you mean? I don't know what a container is. Obviously, propane tank is a container, isn't it? A balloon
is a balloon. So is a vacuum chamber. And I was asking for an experiment that doesn't use any of that. And you couldn't do it.
In our paradigm, the space is almost vacuum. So when we go to the vacuum chamber and we put a helium balloon inside and we watch the helium balloon dropping down in an acceleration rate, what do you say then?
The rubber, the mass of the rubber is what's causing that to happen.
There. Yeah, the outside of the space is the same.
So you're trying to say that the rubber doesn't have any mass?
How do you get gas pressure out of a container? Well, I get a container and then...
Exactly. You just can't be done.
They want to talk about flat earthers and like ignoring obvious truths, like, oh, that's interesting, and like 15-mile-per-hour drift. But then I show you an example of the way that you do the same thing, and all you want to do is go,
Stop winging, boo.
You're walking on hot fucking coal with your bare feet. Popping, jumping around the place.
Yeah, it's a pretty. It's a pretty simple question to answer.
A fucking simple question. I have told you about the Cavendish experiment, yet you have proven nothing.
Cavendish.
Zero.
Cavendish.
No, but that is not. Why are we talking about Cavendish right now?
Provide your evidence. We have provided our explanation. We have
holding the service of a ball.
You try to rebut ours. If you have some contingencies with our experiments and our explanation, then go for it and do it.
And if Cameron disproves
Could you show
gravity,
gas
Cameron
being held
disproves
down
gravity,
by
then why is
gravity?
it pulling it sideways? Why is the ball going sideways? Because gravity is supposed to be a downward vector. You're supposed to be proving that, not sideways.
It is.
It is, but it's just sideways. It's sideways, but it's going downwards. Shut the fuck up, man.
You don't know what you're talking about. You just talk over people.
What you do is you try to twist the narrative and try to confuse
No,
people's
I just
minds with your
explain
bullshit.
it. I just explain it, and you're too stupid to
Well,
understand.
horizontal is the same as.
Could you please show us gases being held down by gravity, Brenda? Could you please show us that?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Ask your friend to shut his mouth.
I'll shut up for you, Brenda,
Right.
and I'll shut up for
My question is simple, Brenda. Could you please show us gases being held down by gravity? Please show us that. I know it's a difficult thing to ask in a Discord server because you practically can't do that. But do you have a reference you could point us to, perhaps?
Is Hyperphysics a good enough website for you?
Yeah, sure. And please don't show me the hexa sulfur whatever gas in the fish tank because that's nonsense.
How to weigh gases? How to weigh gases?
They're gonna show you plasma, I bet.
How to weigh gases? It's very simple. You weigh the container, you then fill it with the gas, and then you weigh it again. That's how you weigh things.
Well, without the container, you can't weigh it.
Quiet.
Out of container, and then you go container. Like you listen to the words that are coming out.
Are there any moderators around?
Container.
Rami, can I
look? We're not denying that. Hold on, we're not denying that the gases have mass. We're not denying that. We're just asking what is preventing them from going into space if they're moving in all vectors?
Because they have weight
in a container.
They have weight because they move in all vectors. So one of those vectors is going to be down.
That's not what weight is. That's not what weight is.
Proving weight does not prove gravity. Sorry.
Yeah, it actually does.
No, it actually does not.
No, that's what weight is.
No, that's what you think it is. You think why call weight gravity if it's gravity? Then just call it gravity. Don't call it weight. But why do you call it weight? Because weight is not gravity.
No, Brahmi, you're misconstruing terms.
No, you're.
V is the acceleration caused by gravity. Weight is the force as a resultant effect of gravity.
No, weight. You're subscribing gravity to weight because you're confused. That's all that's happening.
Mass times G equals weight.
Nah, weight is just the amount of stuff. Something. That's it. The amount of stuff, like the mass of something. It's a similar thing. You don't subscribe gravity to it.
Let me ask you something. Yeah. One, what's the problem with weighing gas by putting it in a container? Because that's the method that's the method that's used.
Because
what's the big deal about that?
Because the container has a downward vector. The gas does not.
How do you
weigh the container before? You put the gas in there afterwards. You zero the scale. You put it back on there.
Yeah,
I'm saying
you're weighing the contents of inside the container. Yes,
right, exactly.
But
the
gas itself does not have.
You can't do that with water either. You can't just pour water onto the scale.
Let me answer the question, Rocket. The gas itself does not have a downward vector. Just
yes,
because
it does, Rami.
No,
we had this discussion before.
No.
You've accepted the gas is matter.
Yeah.
There's no getting around that.
Yeah, I accept that. But
matter is subject to the forces that act upon
it. Matter that doesn't have a downward vector.
First of all, you can't.
Rami,
hold on a second.
Now you're violating. Now you're violating the laws of nature.
So
look, this is the ridiculous thing you're doing. You accept it as matter. Matter has certain properties.
Yeah.
Jeremy, can I borrow you an?
Matter has mass.
Right. I agree.
Can I borrow you down in Flat Earth Gossip?
Yeah. All right. I'll be down there.
And then the rest you want to hand wave away.
No, I don't. I'm saying to you that yes, it has matter. Yes, it has mass. Yes, it has weight. But no, it doesn't have. It doesn't have a downward vector or downward preferential.
If you just said it has, Rami, if you've just said that it has mass and weight, and then it doesn't have a downward vector, you just shot your foot off by saying that.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
Yes, you
no, it hasn't, because some gases.
Not just your leg, not just your foot, your leg, your entire bottom half of your body.
Allow me to explain.
You don't understand.
You're not allowing me to explain.
Rami, I don't need to. I'm hanging a flag here because you just hung yourself.
You're funding me. Well, I've got a knife under my pocket and I'm about to cut myself loose. The fact of the matter is, right? The fact of the matter is, yes, it may have weight. Yes, it may have, fucking properties of other things, but it's a gas, and in a gas, it will go in all directions, and it doesn't have a downward preferential. It has an upward preferential. So this matter doesn't act like a solid or a liquid. It acts like the gas that it actually is, and it goes all directions. And it will go up into the sky.
This is just utter bullshit, man.
It's true.
Brummy, you just blew. I'll say this because it's funny. You just blew your foot off. It's just, you blew it off while you had it stuck in your mouth. Literally. Like, I don't know what more to say on this. If you can't recognize that, then that's a testament to your intellectual dishonesty.
No, it's your misinterpretation of what's actually being said. That's all. You'll figure out one day. You might have to go back to university for another 10 years. You know what I mean? You might get to my level.
Rummy, you're not even close. Let's not even go there, okay? I don't want to flex or anything, but you're being ridiculous now, okay?
Brummy, what is the tear weight of a container?
How stupid I am.
Sorry, mate. What was you saying?
Does everybody else recognize just how ridiculous Brummy's statement just was? I just want to.
He's a troll.
It's Brummy.
It's just.
I'm free from. Look. Brenda said more stupid things than anyone in this room combined in their entire lifetime and a lifetime generation after that. But the fact of the matter is, I know what I'm saying. You don't understand what I'm saying. That's the difference.
No. We understand. The thing is,
you're an idiot, dude.
Brummy, what is the tear weight of a container?
The tear weight of a container. When you tear the weight off it, don't you? So it goes to zero.
TARE.
ARE.
ARE.
Well, when you put on the scales, right?
To be honest, I don't know what that term is. I'm going to look it up.
All it means is just the weight of the empty container.
Yeah, because you teared it.
And so then if we add something to the container and then weigh it again, right? Then we can figure out what the weight of the substance was minus the weight of the container, right?
Yes.
I'm not denying that the content in the container can weigh differently when you put it in there. Why are we going over this? I'm not denying that. Do not get my argument.
So you can see that you can weigh the gas.
The gas can be weighed because it's in a downward vector. It's concealed in a downward vector container.
You said it.
Why does it have to be in a container?
You don't understand it. Yes, I said it. You don't understand it.
Why does the gas have to be?
Why does the gas have to be in a container? And weigh it by its if it's a solid. Liquids and gases, you got to put in something to weigh it. You can't pour water onto the scale. You can't pour gas onto the scale.
You have contained.
I don't know why everybody gets hung up on all of this. You have to do the same thing. How do you weigh how do you weigh X amount of water?
Yeah, you have to put gas or water in a vessel because it takes the shape of the vessel. It doesn't go in a downward. Gas doesn't go in a downward.
No,
vessel.
so you put it in a container so it doesn't make a friggin' mess and it stays localized for the amount that you put in there.
Yeah. Space pulp, if the gas has weight, that is a downward vector.
Exactly. Brummy said it. He said it.
The gas
the way I understand weight, the way you understand weight, there's a disconnect. When you say weight, you mean gravity. When I say weight, I do not. That's a difference between me and you.
Yeah, what's your definition of weight then?
My definition of weight doesn't have a gravity.
So what then?
The gas has multiple. The gas has multiple vectors, and one of those vectors is going to be down. So if you put the gas in a container, one of the downward vectors is going to be measured.
Any gas particle can have multiple vectors. This is the part you don't understand.
Exactly, and one of the vectors is down.
I don't understand. Amazing.
One of the vectors is down, is it not, Brenda?
Yes.
So if one of the vectors is down, you're going to be able to measure that downward vector.
Yes, the mean resultant vectors of everywhere. Despite the fact they're flying off everywhere, impacting in whatever direction on the container. The mean vector is the weight of that gas, regardless of how the molecules are flowing.
Exactly, because no matter if you take any molecule in that gas, it will have a vector down. You take the average, you find that all of them of down, which is the force of gravity.
If the gases are moving in all directions, wouldn't the mean vector be zero?
No, because there's a force. Because if you look at a column of a gas and you look at the pressure at the bottom and at the top, you'll see a gradient.
Correct.
Yeah.
So how the hell can you have a zero mean vector?
Exactly.
So Space Pope, what happened?
You need to answer this question.
Oh, fuck me.
You can have a zero mean vector.
Space Pope, consider this. We have a gas in a container, and the gas is moving in every direction.
Yeah.
But it's exerting and pressure is the force that the gas exerts on the walls of the container, right?
Well done. Yeah, you do well.
Right. So it's exerting a force on the top of the container and a force on the bottom.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between those two forces. That difference is the weight of the gas.
No,
you can't prove that the force is not
let me tackle this. Now we've got it nice and quiet, and you're listening, and we've got to a point. The container itself has and biased that the container that it's in will drag all the gas down to the scale, registering it.
Oh my god! How? What are you saying, dude?
Gas isn't dragged.
Liquids have a biased downward. Gases, however, do not. You need to surround the gas in a biased downward vector in order to register the weight of the gas.
Brenda, can you prove that those gas molecules are not moving equally in all directions and are just moving down in that container? Can you prove that they're not equally pushing on all corners?
Right. I didn't say they're just moving down. They are moving in all directions, but there's a difference between the pressure on the top of the container compared to the pressure on the bottom.
Can you prove that?
Yes, I have.
Yes, by weighing it. By weighing it.
Not only this, we also have a proof of.
Yeah, but you're only weighing the downward vector. You're not weighing anything in any other direction.
Let's imagine this, okay? This is like 101 physics, okay? So you have an object. Let's take a molecule of gas, okay? So you take all the vectors of forces applying on this molecule, on this object, and then you calculate it, and the what do you call it? The most powerful force in a particular direction will lead that molecule in that direction. So when you have a pressure gradient, the amount of the net force is downward. The net positive force is downward. Therefore, you see high pressure down near the surface of the Earth. Now, I'm gonna post you a video where they actually have a vacuum and they have balloons of helium. First of all, before they get to vacuum, the helium is floating, quote unquote, relative density. Move all the air, the air molecules to a degree, then you will see that the helium gas will drop in. This is the net positive of downward force. I'm going to post the video now. You can have fun and look at it and re-examine your interpretation of what you're actually seeing, because you are trying to imagine things. Your intuition is fucking wrong. That's why you need to do experiments to test your intuition. Your intuition is absolutely wrong. Just because gas molecule doesn't mean there's no net positive downward direction. There is a net positive downward direction. It's gravity force.
How do you know that it's not the material of those balloons that's making the balloons go to the bottom of that vacuum chamber? How do you know that it's not the rubber in those balloons that's making that happen?
That is exactly the point for us. This is our argument, because we're showing you that the material, the matter itself, has a property that is gravity.
Exactly. And the rubber...
Point. That's us a PowerPoint. What you're saying, it doesn't make any difference to you, dude. It's ours.
No, we're just pointing out that different states of matter behave differently, and gases behave different from solids and liquids.
They have more kinetic energy, yes.
That's and they don't just move in one vector.
And that's why we look at the pressure gradient, and we see high pressure near the surface of the Earth and low pressure when we go upper in the atmosphere. It's because the net positive of the downward force is gravity is pushing down. That's why you see high pressure downwards.
We could also argue that the pressure at sea level is higher because the kinetic energy is greater, because there's more, that the molecules are warmer, they're being heated up more on the surface in comparison to
the average kinetic energy is temperature. It's not weight.
Exactly, it's not weight, my friend.
Can you repeat that again?
Average kinetic energy is temperature, not weight.
I didn't mention weight. I said that the pressure is being
Yeah, you said average kinetic energy, and actually, the average kinetic energy at upper levels of the atmosphere is higher. The temperature is higher than at sea level. It's just that the density is extremely low.
Yes, that's why
the pressure wouldn't be higher in the higher regions of the atmosphere because there's going to be less molecules up there. So regardless of the temperature increase, the pressure is not going to be higher than.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is correct because there's fewer of them there, but they're traveling on average faster than the molecules at sea level.
Yeah, but the pressure is dependent on the amount of molecules that are colliding with either the walls of the container or the device that's measuring the pressure.
You're on the right track. You're on the right track. The air pressure outside of upper levels of the atmosphere would be close to a vacuum, and you would be in a world of pain if you stepped outside there.
Exactly. We're both on the right track because you have accepted that the pressure is being generated by the kinetic energy of the gas molecules, not the downward vector of gravity.
The average gravity gives an additional vector, and it adds up over volumes.
Yeah.
Nobody
But we're only measuring kinetic energy. We're not measuring it down.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, there's this unique property of gas. They all go all direction. But we can take fluids, for example. Go to the ocean. The more you dive deep in the ocean, the higher pressure increases. Are you telling me that down deep in the ocean, the molecule of water are actually having a higher kinetic energy? Actually, no, they're much colder. So what's your explanation then?
The pressure at the bottom of the ocean is greatest because there's you're supporting the entire weight of the ocean above you, as opposed to when you go higher, as opposed to closer to the surface of the water where the pressure would be less because there's less water pushing down. But then again, this goes back to the different states of matter. Gases do not behave like water.
Yeah, they
do. Behave like gases.
They behave exactly the same. They're both fluids.
Do water molecules move in all directions?
Yes. Yes.
No, but the difference is that water molecules have intermolecular bonds. Gases have weak intermolecular bonds that prevents them from forming into like a rigid structure, like water or solids would.
Water is not solid structure, my dude. And water can actually.
I said a rigid structure, so I mean like viscous, not
right terminologies. Solid doesn't equal to viscous.
Viscous.
Do you not know what viscous means?
Do you?
Do you?
It seems like you don't because you're laughing right now.
No, we're laughing because you think you know what it means and you're correlating to solid, but it's not actually solid.
What does viscous mean? Can you tell me since you know what it means?
You showed me why it's.
No, but you said that you know what it means though. So,
you're the one who proposed it. You're the one who should actually be generous.
No, but if you don't know what it means, then why are you laughing at it?
You used it.
So you're laughing because I used a word that you don't know?
No, we know.
No. No. I mean, I know M Stone is an idiot. I'm asking you why you're laughing. Like, it doesn't make sense why you're laughing.
It will make sense.
Somebody just define viscosity and get past this point.
They can't because they don't know what it is.
How about the resistance to flow due to the internal shear forces?
Where did you get that definition from?
This goes
off the top of my head, to be honest. I can Google it.
By the way,
if you want.
this goes back again to my diagram that Brummy can't understand that there has to be more gases pressing on the bottom of the container than the top in order to transfer away.
You're an idiot. I'm repeating myself and over. Like, some people get it, some people don't.
I'm an idiot, but you can't explain the way the force of the gas gets transferred to the walls of the container. You can't explain it.
I explained it, you don't understand it. That's the point.
No, you don't. You don't explain it.
I explain. Listen, I'm not going to waste my breath.
If a container is being pushed equally in all directions, how would the force be transferred down?
If the container is being pushed in all directions, how is it transferred down? Think about what you just said.
My 6-year-old does that sometimes. It's very annoying.
Well, last week, I explained it to you. What do I say to you? Repeat back to me what I said to you. Oh, no. Jake, repeat back to me what I said to you. Just give it one time. I've explained the same argument for a week now. I want you to verbalize what I tell you and my explanation. If you don't understand it, it's fine. But
it's in the container, and in the container goes down. The container, it's got a downward tendency to go down. It's in the container. Because it's in the container, it doesn't matter. All the gases and everything, it makes it so it goes down.
That's what I said.
You can't prove that the gases at the bottom are pushing more at the bottom of the container than the top. You can't prove that.
That's what you said.
If that's
what do you mean? You can stick a pressure gauge on the bottom of the container and a pressure gauge at the top, and you will register a difference in pressure. And if you
did someone mute Jake?
If you take a pressure gauge, you measure the pressure at the bottom, you measure the pressure at the top, you subtract that difference, you'll get a certain pressure, which is the difference, and then you multiply that by the area of the container on the bottom, and you will have the exact weight that you're registering on the scale.
Is it a homogeneous?
Pope, let me. You've been talking for a while, man. Let me just.
Yeah, I'll let you take
Jake.
Go ahead.
Right, Jake. Let me give me this space, right? When I say to you, the container has a bias downwards, a solid and liquids, they have a bias that is downwards.
What is this fucking?
There is never no water. There's never no liquid or solid that ever goes upward, right?
Yeah,
Only gases tend to have this. Why is everyone talking? Only gases seem to have this property where they rise.
Not true.
No liquid or no solid has this property. Now you capture this upward.
That's actually wrong. Gas is a state of matter,
I'm not talking to anyone else but Jake. Now, Jake, you need to listen to my words carefully because I need you to repeat my argument. Now, gases, they have an upward force. They have an upward attraction, whatever you want to call it. Now, you contain it in a downward bias container. That dominates the force inside the gas is trying to go in directional. It dominates it, putting it downward to the scale. Right, and then you're asking me why it has a downward bias. It wouldn't register otherwise. Do you not see the disconnect in your argument and how I'm trying to make that connection for you?
The reason why you're seeing a disconnect is because you don't understand our argument. You don't understand our argument.
Jake, now respond to me with specificity.
Relax, buddy. Relax. Chill. I know you're laughing.
I'm saying it to you. I'm wasting my breath on Jake.
You agreed with. You agreed. If we took a vacuum out of a container, we replaced the empty space with helium, that their container would weigh more, not less, right? We agreed on that.
Yeah, we
right?
agree on that. We agree.
Okay, and we agreed that if we took a pressure gauge, we'd measure more pressure at the bottom of the container than at the top.
Irrelevant to what my context is what I was saying. It's irrelevant.
Is that yes or no?
But if it's not due to gravity, but yes.
Okay, so you agree that there's more pressure at the bottom of the container than the top.
Even if it is true, which I haven't seen it proven yet,
it is true. It's absolutely true. Even Moak's going to do the experiment to prove it to you.
That it's true, and even if it does have a pressure towards the bottom, does not mean that gravity is causing it. So let's move on to the point that I brought you to.
But we can reverse the direction of that by simply accelerating it in a different direction.
And so what I said with specificity to what I was saying.
Specificity?
Whatever it's called.
Come on. You know where a word comes from.
Talking about pressure gradients, that isn't an argument here. The argument is why is the gas weighing on the scales? I'll give you my example. Now address my argument.
Precisely because there's more pressure at the bottom than the top. It pushes harder on the bottom of the container than the top, which is what we've been telling you this whole time.
That's what you think, but I'm trying to get you to explain.
If there's more pressure at the bottom of the container has to be pushed harder than the top.
You're not listening. I understand your point. I understand it perfectly crystal clear. What you're trying to understand is what I don't get about your argument, but I'm trying to give you the answer to that. But you're not listening to me. You're just going, oh, pressure gauge. I'm not even talking about the pressure differential. I'm not even talking about that. We're talking about why the gas weighs. Now, I need you to understand that point. Address my point for once in your shit life.
The weight is a pressure differential.
You, Brenda. Jake?
Why are you fucking shouting, dude?
Jake,
what you're not understanding is if there is no pressure differential, there would be no weight. The gas would not weigh more if there was no pressure differential.
Shut up, man. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Go away.
And the way we know that, Brummy, is we can subtract the two pressure differentials, multiply it by the area of the bottom of the container, and we get the same exact weight that we register on the scale.
Or put a fucking vibrator up your fucking ass. That's it.
You're shouting like a monkey, man. What the fuck up?
Don't talk to me about pressure differentials.
Stop shouting like a monkey.
The geezer is just evading my question, evading
Why
my
are you evading my?
He doesn't understand what I'm saying. Doesn't listen to
If what you say is true, why is it that when you subtract the two pressure differences and multiply it by the area of the container, you get the exact weight that you register on the container? Why?
Why is it that you don't fucking answer my question?
I just answered it and I explained it to you. If you subtract the pressure difference between the top and the bottom and you multiply it by the area.
Explain my argument back to me, so I know you listened. Don't just say, "Oh, everything's going down."
No, you're just saying that somehow because it's in the container, it registers more weight. It doesn't make any sense.
Explain my argument back to me. That's why I'm trying.
All that I can make of your argument is because it's within a container, it transfers its weight of the force of its weight to the container.
No, he's saying, Jake, because the solid container already has the down vector thing. The helium separate has the up vector. So I think he's saying you're getting the down vector because you're putting the helium.
That's exactly what he's saying, and it makes no sense. And we know that because we have more pressure at the bottom than at the top.
Oh, you're an idiot.
Are you saying that the gas doesn't travel in every direction?
I'm done with this conversation. I can't talk to idiots for this too long.
Then leave.
You're saying that the gas has an upward vector. Are you denying?
Let me know when you want to listen to my actual argument. You fucking spastic.
Are you saying that the gas travels in all directions, or what?
I said that because of the density of the medium. So I don't want to.
No, I think Brumi. I understand, but Brumi is trying to say that the gas just has an upward vector, right? Yeah, he shut down.
Well, he shut down. Helium does only have an upward vector in our atmosphere, right?
No, that's not their claim, and that's not true. It travels in every direction.
That's true.
In a vacuum, it would, but not in our atmosphere. I don't know. I don't know what you're. I don't want to strawman nobody.
The problem is right. They are so desperate to keep gravity involved in this argument that they won't even separate it for a moment of scientific exploration. No one's talking to Brendan right now. I'm talking to Don. A true scientist does not bring these preconceived notions into an experiment. Right. The point of an experiment is to experiment and look at the data and look at the results, not to preconceive. Oh, it's because of gravity. Oh, there's a gas pressure gradient because of gravity. They're all preconceptions. That's what he's doing.
There's not preconception, you dumb fuck, man. We measured it. We observed it. We calculated it.
We measured it.
What do you have, man? Other than your
what do
fucking
I have? I have a fucking unbiased mind to look at things. What you have is a programmed mind. You have a programmed mind. What you have is a programmed mind. What I have is a free mind. There's a difference between me and you, bitch.
Shut up for a second. This is the hyperphysics which you previously accepted as a reference. And here's the quote: the difference between the average force on the bottom and the top of the container is just the weight.
I'm sorry, I didn't listen to you. What did you say? All I heard was wait. Or you were wait. It's not nice when people just ignore everything you say and then start talking some random shit. Is it, Brenda? It's very frustrating. Is it, Brenda? Oh, let's talk about pressure gradients, Brenda. Let's talk about pressure gradients. Let's talk about peanuts now. Let's talk about peanuts. Oh, what did you say, Brenda? Let's talk about peanuts. Like, this is what it's like talking to you lot. You don't fucking respond to what I say. So what the fuck should I respond to you?
Yeah, the thing is, you're not understanding anything, bro. That's the problem.
I don't understand fucking Mongol talking. No, I don't understand Mongolian. I don't understand Mongolian. No, I don't understand.
Einstein.
She just repeated a quote that was precisely what I've been telling you, that the weight of the gas in the container is the difference between the pressure between the top of the container and the bottom.
Yeah, and he previously accepted the hyperphysics website as a reference.
But somehow I'm the one that's confused.
And that is how you shut up and flurf.
I'm from England. I'm from Birmingham.
Guys, the YouTube views actually drop when Brumming are going on. The YouTube views actually drop. like, guys, you're really exciting the crowd out there.
Fuck up.
Who gives a shit what Boomer says? Who gives a shit what Brenda says? Who gives a shit what anyone says? You know what I mean? Who gives a shit?
We're trying to explain to you, but not.
You're not trying nothing. You ain't trying to. You're trying to understand
we
what
are.
I'm saying, and you're
We
asking me
are.
questions, and then you're
We
pretending
are.
to understand. You're pretending to try and understand what I'm saying, and then not
We
listening
are.
on purpose. You've got your fingers in your ears, yeah.
Yes, we
And then
are.
if you want a conversation, then let me know. But don't just sit there ask me to explain something to you, and then don't respond with specificity.
We explain why you're wrong.
I love that.
How many times someone explained to your fucking points and you don't fucking listen?
Well, so let's talk about pressure gradients. What do you know about pressure gradients? Yeah, pressure gradients, peanuts, apples, pears, oranges. That's what it's like talking to you. You don't answer my shit, so what the fuck are you now expecting me to answer your shit? Hell no.
You're being very dishonest now. We answered your shit, bro. We
Dishonest.
answered it.
Be dishonest,
We
all right.
answered it. We
All right.
answered it, dude.
You did, yeah, you did. Let's talk about pressure gradients. Well, I'm finished off my ice cream, which is tasting absolutely lovely.
Fuck yeah, what flavour?
I had some fucking salted caramel.
Oh yes, that's amazing.
Only 285 calories as well. Not like I'm on a diet or anything, but if you're gonna
Fuck, who
treat
gives a fuck about calories, bro?
Oh man. Well, I do. If I see it, if I look at a calorie, it goes on my belly, mate. I add weight so quick.
Really?
Yeah.
Sucks
I think
to
I'm an
be you,
endomorph, and endomorphs so I can put on weight and lose weight very quick. But
I don't know if that's true, bro. Like, there was a time in my life where I was the same as you, and now I'm back to like eating whatever the fuck I want, not putting on the weight.
what body type you got though? Because there's like 3 different body types in there. There's endomorphs.
Tallish.
Tall and slim, yeah.
One.
Yeah.
No, so I was slimish. I don't know, fucking 85 kilos.
Never look.
I'm not built like or anything, but yeah, whatever.
Body types. See what they are. There's 3 different.
Oh
ones.
yeah, I know. There's 3 different types. There's like a fat cunt and a skinny cunt, and then like I don't know what the other one is. A medium cunt. It's
medium cunt. I think you are. I'm an endomorph.
Ectomorph, endomorph, and mesomorph.
Yeah,
yeah, that's the one. The meso.
You're a meso then.
A fucking meso cunt.
They're
One's like the athletic one, right?
The mesomorph, yeah. The mesomorph.
The mesomorph, yeah, they can vary their weight as they wish. The mesomorph is like the endomorph is like just always a skinny cunt no matter what, and then ectomorph is like husky.
Endomorph like me, I'm really like strong and fat.
Strong and fat.
Yeah, like The Rock and a few others like Joe Rogan. He's an endomorph as well. They've got good solid base.
Yeah, but he's like what, 5'2"?
Yeah, I'm quite short too. I'm quite short.
So, Brommy, you're saying Jake is wrong. You're satisfied with your explanation.
You know what? Even if Jake's happy with his answer, I'm happy that he's come to his conclusion. But he asked me, "How does this happen?" Because he's confused how I don't accept his answer. So I explain my answer. Then he doesn't really address my answer. Doesn't repeat back my reasoning for it, and then just strawmans me and says, "Oh, all you're saying is down." And not listen. No one's asking you to talk when I'm being asked the question.
Fucking liar, man.
Well, this is my experience and my opinion of what I've experienced, right? So this is what they do.
Guys, just let him get it out.
This is what happens every time. They just get triggered. They have to stop me. They have to knock me off balance, but they cannot shake or break me.
Push on.
That's it.
So the bottom line is,
why do you think Brummy's lying?
Because Jake and Brenda and I responded to his points. The reason why there's pressure gradient in the first place is because it's the net force to the downforce, and for him to say that there's some type of pseudo fucking force that basically the container is biased. There's a biased force of the container. It's influencing the downward force of the gas inside and pushing it down. We told him
he doesn't even know the argument. He doesn't even know the argument.
No, that was your fucking point. That's what you said.
Let me correct you now. Let me correct you, nice guy.
Yeah, just go again, bro. All you gotta do
There's
is
just an ordering law. There's no evidence of this force. There's just evidence of a law of ordering.
Just ask it again, Brummy. Just ask it
My
again.
point being, he's going to say that
is a law of ordering.
He's trying to say
What the
that
fuck is your
the
orbit?
container is. He's trying to say that I'm saying the container caused the
Law
gradient.
of ordering.
He's
I
trying
can
to
tell
say,
you what the orbit
come on,
is in
let me
very,
look it. I'm
very
halfway through
distinct
here,
terms.
please. Let me finish my point and respond to my point. He's now nice guy is trying to say that I'm saying the container is causing the gradient. That is not what I said in any shape or form. That's a complete misunderstanding of what I did say.
So,
This is
hold
why
on.
I'm asking you to repeat.
Is there a gradient then in your mind?
If there is a gradient, like I took his word on it that the gradient will be most even in a container that the gases will probably have a downward like a gradient. And I has been proven to me, and it depending on if it's helium, I would most people would assume that the gradient would be from the top, which I have never tested this, so I could never say with absolute certainty. But what I did say is that if it does have a downward, if it does have a gradient from the bottom, just like it does in a balloon when it goes up in the atmosphere, it's not because of gravity is pulling it down. It's because of having a bottle of water, for example. There's more medium molecules, mass, weight, whatever you want to call it, above the water below. And that's pressing on it, causing a force on that.
Causing a pressure.
Causing a pressure.
Mm.
And he's trying to now say that I'm saying the container.
That's actually precisely right, Brummy. That is precisely right. There's a column. There's a column of helium that creates more pressure at the bottom than the top. There's a column of weight, which means helium has weight. It doesn't defy gravity.
But you see, when they say weight,
helium has weight. What the fuck are you on about, bro?
See, when they say weight,
No, seriously.
It doesn't matter.
What are you on about? Can you define weight and then apply it to gas? Dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, weight is the force of a mass that's being accelerated by gravity. And
right.
if you take a vacuum, if you put helium in an empty container, the container weighs more with the helium in it, not less.
Spit me your bullshit. Okay, I'll ask you this way then. Does gas expand in all directions?
It expands in all directions, but not within a gravitational.
Just answer the question and just keep your mouth shut
So
yes. It expands in all directions, but not equally, and there's a limit to how far it can expand based on its kinetic energy when it's under the influence of an acceleration such as gravity.
But nothing. Just answer the question and shut up. That's it.
There's more to the answer than a simple yes or no.
No, there ain't.
The gas has a certain kinetic energy, and that energy eventually, the gas molecule is eventually going to run out of energy in the upward direction when it's within an acceleration, when it's undergoing acceleration.
Yeah. All you're saying is yes, but no. That's it. Ultimately, you're going yes, but no. Does it shine bright light? Does it shine light? Yeah, it does. But
if it goes equally in all directions, then you wouldn't have a pressure gradient in the container, which you just agreed there's a pressure gradient in the container.
It's a table. It's a table, but it's not a table.
Listen to his argument, you dumb fuck. Stop voting.
It rather is or it isn't. There's no in between.
Okay, how about this question? Why is there a pressure gradient?
No, it's not.
Why is there a pressure gradient?
Carry on.
Why is there a pressure gradient? If gas goes in all directions equally, why there's a pressure gradient?
Why there a pressure gradient?
Look at this fucking little kid behind the screen laughing.
Relax, bro. You're getting triggered way too easy.
Skipping school, another guy boxer. Why is there a pressure gradient?
You can't have pressure gradient without pressure.
Yeah, you can make fun, but what is the pressure gradient, Brumi? Stop laughing and answer the question.
Pressure is that up the walls of the container?
So you don't have any answer?
How do you have gas pressure with no container?
How do you have gas pressure gradient without the container?
It's on the sensor.
You're very funny.
It's a genuine question, my friend.
Making fun of an accent. Oh, you're so pretty. Ooh.
Making fun, my friend.
Oh, you see pressure. It's very funny.
Dude, it's a genuine question, bro.
Yeah, it's a genuine question.
DM me.
Answer the question, bro. You're too smart. You're a boxer, you know nothing. Answer the question.
You're a boxer, you know nothing. Yes? You know nothing.
Why do we have a pressure gradient?
Gas pressure with no gradient, yes?
That's why. That's hilarious, bro. So that's the biggest at-home ever. That's the biggest at-home ever. Because you're a boxer.
So your
brain bounce around. Your brain in a container, bounce around in a container.
So you
Maybe
claim
someone knocks sense into you, bro. Or maybe they make you dumber. I don't know.
Don't, man.
maybe
Stop
QE
it.
has turned your mind, mate. So you claim that mass and weight suddenly appears out of nothing, right? That is your claim.
No, he doesn't make claims. He's not courageous enough to do so.
Why is that? Why are they claiming that? That is what I would like to know.
I asked him the question as well, why there's a pressure gradient, and he's making fun of my accent, which it's fine by me, but please answer the question for me. He's probably talking to Nathan Oakley or QE for an answer.
And all QE does is shout like.
So basically, yes. I type in the tech. No, I can't do it anymore without a straight face. My cheeks are hurting. So I'm trying to not smile.
My cheeks are killing, bro. Honest to God.
Trying to keep a straight face and talking, and there's like a fucking contradiction. It's like gas pressure about a container. Do you know what I mean? It's the contradiction in my cheeks. Like trying to keep it straight and smile at the same time. There's like a tension.
Oh, bro. Tell you what.
You know what I mean?
This is too good. I haven't laughed like this in a long time, to be honest.
Comic relief.
Well, I'm glad that I'm making you laugh then. So let's go back to the question. What is a pressure gradient?
I don't know. What's the pressure gradient? Please tell me. I've never heard of that before.
So why are you here then? Why are you debating then?
I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm debating. Can you educate me on what I'm debating?
I told you you're a fucking troller, dude. You fucking troll. You come here and you fucking troll.
Bro, I don't know. I don't even know what my own name
troller,
is.
dude. Just
What day
admit
is it? What day is it?
Just say it. I'm a troller. I come here. I bullshit.
I don't even know what day. I don't even know what a troll is. What's a troll?
You don't know what a troll is.
What's a troll, bro?
Listen, I'll keep you to yourself.
All right.
You don't need to answer my question.
Educate me. Educate. What is a troll?
A couple of minutes later, someone will ask the same question, and you will jump in like a fucking monkey, trying to rebuttal their claims.
Can you define a troll? Can you name the three constituent parts of a troll? What's the three constituent parts of a troll?
Once you're gonna take it serious, okay, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna ask you the same question.
What are the three constituent parts of a troll?
No, you keep laughing, bro. Keep laughing. Pressure gradients and different gradients. Keep laughing, bro.
Don't let quantum eraser here. You take your scripture in vain, man. You're in big trouble. This is blasphemous. To change the words.
Brilliant that was. Anyway, I'd love to hear what your response to that. The three constituent parts of a troll, man. Oh, fuck you know. That tearjerker that was.
100%.
Only if I could do the voice as well. If I could have mimicked his voice in that moment, I could have took it to another dimension.
You would have killed me, bro. You would have actually killed me.
One time the three constituent parts of the troll. Oh, fuck it. I missed the moment though, innit? I missed it. But no, obviously I know what a pressure gradient is, bro. I know what I know the arguments for the I just disagree with the gravity, and obviously you guys are set in stone. It all makes sense, and when you take it away, it's not just taking away this one argument, the gas is having a preferential down. For you to take it, it's not just that. When you take away, that means you have to take it off everything. That's why you can't even think about it without gravity. Do you get what I mean? Because it's not just this argument I'm taking it away. It's everything. So if I falsify this one little example, it falsifies everything you understand about the world, and that's why you struggle with it so much.
Did you study physics for me?
No, I didn't study physics, bro.
Study mathematics for me.
Sorry?
Study mathematics.
I just got A levels.
So do you know about the concept acceleration? Do you know what acceleration is?
Acceleration requires a force.
Oh wait, hold on. Do you know this for a fact?
It usually goes hand in hand, yeah. But yeah, it usually goes hand in hand, and that's why the acceleration of falling to the floor was one of my main arguments when I was a Glober, saying that you must have a force in order for it to have acceleration. But that's when I had a limited understanding of the world.
Like the acceleration is showing up that there's differences in speed, right?
And I can explain, like, for example, if I throw a ball, I put a force behind that ball, it will accelerate into the air. Hold on. It will accelerate into the air, and the energy will dissipate. And as the energy dissipates that I put into it, there'll be another force acting upon it, which is apparently the force of gravity, which will give it the curve in sort of example. And then it will obviously, as the speed of the force I put behind it dissipates, it will then hit down to the floor more and more, and the curve would be exaggerated, and that's why the ball curves the floor.
Fucking dissipate, man. You have no fucking clue. See, you don't know physics. It doesn't dissipate. If you throw the ball,
if I throw a ball, that energy is forever. Of course, it's going to dissipate.
No, it's still
going to hit the air. The air's going to also going to be a friction force to slow it down. So of course it's going to dissipate. I can't throw a ball, even if there was, mind you, if there was no air or nothing, nothing to stop it, sort of thing, nothing to put brakes on. Apparently, I could throw a ball in space and it would go forever. So yeah, I could probably.
So you think we can do it in a
unless it's acted upon by another force? Yeah. So we can motion will remain in motion unless acted upon by another force.
Yeah.
So the air and stuff would act as brakes, and that would
be stop on the foot.
What? Can you stop talking while I'm trying to explain myself?
No, you're making a lot of mistakes.
I'm not making mistakes, though. It makes perfect sense.
You're making a lot of mistakes. You're making a lot of mistakes. You said if there's no fucking vacuum, I threw the pill up in the space, it will go to the space. Okay, we can do the same experiments in a vacuum where there's no fucking air, man. You can throw the air.
Earth gravity and all
you can throw the air. You can throw the fucking ball.
I said if I was in space and I threw a ball in space.
You can throw the fucking ball. Why the ball?
If I threw a ball in space, it would go forever. If I flicked a coin, it would go forever.
You applied.
A molecule in motion will remain in motion unless acted on by another force. I get where you're going with it. I just at the time when I was just thinking on my feet, there was slight errors, but I wasn't really wrong with what I was saying. So what's your next argument?
So what's your problem with gravity then?
What's my problem with gravity? I've already told you about 1,000 times, but it doesn't get no progress, so I don't fancy going through it again and again and again.
What do you mean no progress?
Sorry?
What do you mean by no progress?
You don't. So you asked me to explain it. I've explained 1,000 times. You don't get it. So why am I going to bother doing it again? Sorry?
It's funny.
Oh, it's funny. Okay.
Yeah. FE is comedy, dude. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm not even a flat earther, but good for you.
Flat earther, dude. Shut the fuck.
What's more funny is that you find it funny?
What's more funny is that I find it
murder.
Funny. I don't think that came out quite the way you thought it was going to come out.
No, I thought it came out like you like to look at people as if they're stupid, and you get gratification. Makes you feel good about yourself to look at down at others because you have an insecurity. That's what that says to me. It doesn't say to me that, oh, look at these people, they are so stupid, ha ha ha. What that means is that you get gratification out of looking at people that basically have a different way of looking at life than you.
No, it's not looking.
I could argue that you're actually sadder than the people that you actually find sad. I could make that argument. I could logically deduce the argument easily.
Here we're not deducing anything. Here we're measuring.
You get fucking BTFO'd, but you're too stupid to realize it.
Okay, cool. Points go straight over your head every time, and all you do is come in and just say stupid shit. When do you ever debate? Do you want to actually have you want a one-to-one debate, Stone? You want to turn your mic up and actually come to the front of the stage and actually have a conversation with us?
Let's go one-to-one debate.
No. We've missed the Stone since he thinks he's such a smart prick, right? Unmute your mic, turn your mic up, Stone, because if you can figure out how to turn your mic up so people can actually hear what you're saying, then actually have a conversation with him. I challenge you now to a 1v1.
A 1v1
challenge you now to 1v1.
What are you saying?
About what?
What are you saying, little bitch? You're gonna tuck your tail in between your legs and make some excuses. You're gonna tuck your tail in between your legs.
Are you gonna let him respond, please? Please let him respond.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Stone.
A 1v1 about what?
About gravity and the gas pressure out container. Let's talk about fucking how the argument that we've been having. Just
so you're going to argue against gravity.
I want to argue with you about gas pressure out a container. how you can have it, and also about how
Gravity.
work on a scale.
Yes.
See how physics holds up, big boy.
Also gravity, because you have problems with gravity.
He's got quiet. Don't rescue him. Don't white knight him. What are you saying, Stone? What are you saying, Stone?
Okay, Brummy. What you got, man? Why don't you opening? You want to open
What are we
statement?
saying then? How'd you have gas pressure by a container?
Really? You're just gonna go straight there?
Answer the question. Let's hear how smart you are.
First law. What's the first law of
No,
thermodynamics?
I asked you a question. You said how would I start it? I asked you a question. Now you're trying to change the question by asking me a question. No, I've asked you a question.
The opening
I've
statement.
asked you a question.
You don't ask questions in the opening statement.
I've asked you a question.
You don't understand thermodynamics.
All right, I don't understand it. I can see. Well, now you're gonna answer my question. How do you have gas pressure by a container?
Yes, gravity.
Well, how does gravity work upon gases then to prevent them from going out into space?
Well, we have gravity that keeps the atmosphere down.
How does it do that?
Why you get the
How does it do that?
pressure gradient? Pardon?
How does it do that? Just saying it doesn't really explain nothing.
Mass attracts mass.
Yeah. So how does that explain holding the atmosphere down?
Brummy, can I just ask a quick question?
No, well, you're not really. Well, you're saving him. You're saving him now. Stone, you failed.
No, you're not saving me. Y'all quit talking so this idiot can
Gravity,
say
just gravity. Yeah, just gravity. Like you broke down on the first
Well,
question.
that's the answer. That is the answer to the
But
question.
explain it. How does that work? How does gravity hold down the gas molecules? How does it stop going into the atmosphere? I mean, into the
Same
space.
way it holds down everything else.
But that's not. It's just not you though. You're helping him, guys. You're helping him.
Gravity holds down everything. That's true.
How?
What do you not understand about that? I
don't understand what gravity is. So, imagine I don't know nothing. Yeah. So you got to explain to me. Hold on. You got to explain to me what gravity is, where it comes from, how it works, how it functions, and exactly how does it stop gases going out into space. Do you want me to teach you how to teach?
We just talked about that, didn't
No,
we?
no. I need you to demonstrate to me your understanding of gravity. I need you to tell to me about your understanding of gravity since you are so smart and I'm so dumb.
You just did, man.
What? You just said gravity? That doesn't explain nothing to me.
I said gravity holds the atmosphere to the earth.
Fairies hold down the atmosphere.
Pardon?
Fairies hold down the atmosphere.
Did you say fairies?
He said fairies, yeah, fairies. Do you have any evidence of the fairies?
No, I'm trying to what about I'm just trying to equalize his explanation. He just says a word, and that doesn't explain nothing. So explain to me where gravity comes from. Explain to me how it all works, and then I might understand what gravity is. You just saying gravity doesn't explain nothing.
Mass.
How does mass attract mass?
Okay.
And what's that got to do with holding down the gassy stuff and going into space?
Okay, the Earth has gravity.
Yeah. How does the Earth have gravity? What is gravity? How does gravity stop gases going into space?
Pardon?
You're crashing and burning badly, Stone.
What?
What?
I think you're just sea lining really badly.
I'm destroying him. He ain't got nothing to say.
No, are you? You're just asking the same dumb questions over and over again.
In the answers, you just say gravity. He's not explaining what it is, where it comes from, how it works.
Why do you think? Hold on. Why do you think you're entitled to all of that?
Why? Because he's the one teaching me about his religion.
No, he's not teaching you.
This isn't teaching me though.
This isn't. You aren't attending. Hold on. You aren't attending a lesson. This is
saving them. Saving him.
No, I'm pointing out, that this was supposed to be a 1v1 debate, but apparently you feel that within it you're entitled to a series of physics lessons to bring you up to scratch on what we think about gravity, and I just think that's a tactic.
I think this is a tactic for you to save him and bail him out as well.
Well, you wanted the debate.
Let me talk. The fact is, you just said, I've sat there and you finished, M Stone's telling me that there's a force called gravity. First of all, what is it? Where does it come from? How does it work? And how does it stop gases going out? He hasn't explained any of that. He just said the word gravity. So why just said the word fairy?
Again, why do you think you're entitled to have him explain all that to you?
To me how this works. That's the
No,
question.
it's not. No, he's not. No, he's not.
All right, Tim Panda, you've saved him now. You've saved him twice. You let me
Robbie,
continue the
is it a
conversation.
1v1 debate or is it a series of science lessons? Which is it?
Well, him explaining his religion.
Because you said it was a 1v1 debate.
So, do you like being saved by Gem Panda? Do you like being saved by Gem Panda now?
Well, if I'm saving him, then you're admitting that you're wrong.
No, I'm admitting that you're being biased and only picking out the flaws in my part of the argument, but not really addressing the fact that him saying that gravity isn't really a good explanation. Which, if I was saying that, Gem, you'd be on my case saying you can't just say gravity. You have to back up your reasoning for what gravity is. You'd be picking on me about that, but you're not doing it.
He has done that though.
What's mass attracts mass? What is it? Well, you can't just say mass attracts mass, gravity. That's not explaining nothing.
That is what gravity is.
No, it's not. You're saving him anyway, Gem. Can I continue the 1v1 or not?
Well, only if it is a 1v1. You've asked. It was
a 1v1, so you got involved.
No, it wasn't. It
was.
Well, let me explain to you why it isn't. You've now asked a series of questions and are demanding answers to a whole series more. If it's listen.
Oh, here we go again. Here we go. Saved again.
Listen for a minute. Just listen for a minute. If it's a 1v1, then it's a 1v1.
And what are you talking about?
Ask you some questions.
And what are you talking?
It isn't just you turn up and get a science lesson, and if the science lesson you feel is substandard, you've won the debate. That isn't how it works, Brummy. You've asked some questions.
You work with the other one. 1v1 require you to be involved.
I don't. God
I just want it to be a bit.
If somebody comes to me and says, "How do trains work?" and I went, "Well, trains. Steam. Just railroads." That's not explaining football.
Well, you could say that power.
And you're saving him from the conversation, and we need to continue the conversation. I want to get back to it. That's all I want to do.
Right, okay. Well, we're getting back to it. You are now silent, and Stone is going to ask you a question. Okay? Since it's a 1v1.
Well, he still explained what gravity is, or how it works, or how it's stopping gases going into the atmosphere. He hasn't.
Well, maybe that can be your next question. Then,
he needs to explain himself, doesn't he?
Well, maybe that can be your next question. So the 1v1 is just you ask Stone loads and loads of questions until you find one that he doesn't.
How many questions did I answer?
That's not a 1v1, brother. So we're not doing that.
Conspiracy Cats. He asked me about 15 questions in 2 hours before
this isn't that. This isn't that debate.
No, Gem Panda. This is him. I need to understand.
You asked for a 1v1.
Yeah, and you're all over it for some reason.
You had a good tangle. It went on for several minutes.
How does gravity work?
You went round and round in circles.
What is gravity? How does it work? How does it on an atmosphere?
You went round and round in circles.
Wasn't Gem Panda? Could you save him, please? Gem Panda, could you get involved in his argument?
Just keep making talking noises so no one else can speak. That's what we're going to do now.
Question. I want to hear it.
You understand that, Matt? You don't understand anything about gravity. Is that what I'm to understand?
Yeah, I don't understand nothing about it.
Mass attracts mass.
I don't believe in gravity at all. So I'm wondering why you do.
You don't believe in
gravity?
No,
I'm wondering why you do. Yeah.
Okay, so what is weight? How do we figure out weight?
What is weight? Well, what is gravity? You haven't really told me what gravity is yet. So how am I supposed to know what weight is if you're talking about gravity? Weight to me is the matter. The weight to me is the matter of something. Put it on a scale, and the more matter of something you have, the more it will act down on that scale.
The more matter, the more mass.
The more matter, the more mass. Yeah, same thing.
So that you don't think there's a force?
I don't know this force that you haven't described. How am I going to know about a force that you can't conceptualize to me? What are we talking about? Fairies?
It's a downward force.
So downward force is gravity, yeah?
Yes. To the.
What about what do you call the force that when things go up?
Pardon?
I don't just see things going down. I see things go up as well.
Is that what you're talking about?
Sorry?
When things are lighter than air?
When things are lighter than air?
Yes.
Like air. Air itself is lighter than air.
What?
Well, you said when things are lighter than air.
He's asking you. Is that what he's asking you a question?
Well, he didn't explain what gravity is yet.
Is the microphone shitter than the other one?
His microphone's pants, yeah, it sounds what. So
how do you want me to explain it to you?
The way that you understand it.
Hello.
I understand that mass attracts mass. That's
How do you
we
understand
get
that?
Orbits. That's how we get the moon. You know, one side of the moon. That's how we get tidal locks. It's
The mass attracts mass is how we get orbits and moons.
Pardon me?
Mass attracts mass is how we get orbits and moons. Is that correct?
No, it's how we get orbits.
Yeah, and moons, you said.
But it's how the moon orbits the Earth. Yes.
So that's how the moon orbits the Earth, because mass attracts mass. How does this mass attract mass?
That's
gravy and chips.
Gravy and chips, and eat like.
Fucking gotta be on it. Gravy and
His
chips.
brain is broken. Like, I'm sorry, but you're not really giving me any explanation. That's this.
Brum. Just shut the fuck up.
Brummy.
What, you waiting so long? You wait to read some messages from inboxes.
Yeah, Brum. Talk to me, please.
No, I know that you know a bit of stuff, but I know M-Stone don't know fuck all, but he's got a big mouth, so I'm putting him on the spot.
Didn't know the wheels on the Brummy went round and round.
The wheel on the Brummy goes round and round.
So
what causes gravity? I mean,
what is gravity? What is this thing you're talking about? Mass attracts mass and gives us orbit.
Mass attracts mass. It's been proven.
That's pretty cool. I've heard you say that 1,000 times. What does that explain?
Explains gravity.
Explains gravity. That's it. So that's why gas molecules don't go out into space, because mass attracts mass. You do realize that was the original question, right?
Just say if you don't know, you don't know. It's easier.
It's all right, bro. I know you know the rest. You don't really know what you're arguing, but you can't.
Well, it was a long time ago. It's how can you have gas pressure without a container? Was the original thing.
Yeah, and I answered that.
Right.
Gravity. And now you explain what gravity is. As far as I know, all I know, gravity is mass attracts mass, gives us orbits and shit. And the moon is orbited on because mass attracts mass.
But how is it more than mass attracts mass? That's it.
I'm not sure what you're trying to.
Right.
Well, all right. You don't know how to explain your own religion.
I don't.
No, I think what Bob is asking a bit is that mass attracting mass. Is it a pull or a push?
It's an attraction.
It doesn't matter to say that religion. It's just saying.
Because we're looking for the mechanism. Because we know that.
But that is what gravity is.
You have another theory.
Where's his examples? Where's his understanding of it? Where's his linguistics? Where's his vocabulary? It's just
that it's not
just that.
But that is an understanding of it. That is the understanding of it.
Fairies, right? Yeah. Magical fairies are invisible, and they appear and they bring down objects from the sky.
No, Brummy, it's the universal law of gravitation. Every particle in the universe is attracted to every other particle in the universe.
Sam, you're a heavyweight. I know that you can handle yourself. But we know that M-Stone can't handle himself.
But that law states. All that law states is mass attracts mass.
He doesn't have to.
That's all it says. And
explain mass attraction. He can't explain mass attraction.
It accounts for the distances as well, but it describes the relationship between
Stop giving him the
mass
answers,
and distance.
You're feeding him.
I'm
not. Him. He can hear you, and he ain't got a clue what to say. So you're just telling him the answers.
I'm pointing out he doesn't. He said what I'm saying. He doesn't need to say anymore, and you're demanding that he does. And I can't see. You know, gravity is mass attracting mass. That's it. That's the end of the story.
If you send would you send your kids to him for education for gravity?
I'm not a fucking teacher, you
don't know
moron.
what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that. Would you even let your child listen to this guide to give you?
Can I jump in yet?
No.
He gave.
I want to make a point. This guy saying mass attracts mass. It sounds pretty. It might be accurate, but he can't explain himself.
He gave his understanding of it, which is the same as my understanding of it. I don't understand any more about it than he does.
Well, I know
really
more than
don't.
Ferrier then.
I was just able to
I
say
know more.
universal law of gravitation, but that's it.
Yeah, I know more than the pair of you about your own religion.
Well, great. So why are you pretending that you don't?
Because he
Why don't you use your?
Jem, I've told you at the start that he's been mouthing off in the background for God knows how long about everyone's dumb and all kind of stuff. And I put him on the spot to explain his actual skill to verbalize his understanding of the world, and it's gone as far as
fine.
You know, you've done fine. You've done better than
You did great, Jem.
You've done
Excellent.
You've done more better than
You did wonderful, Jem. That was a really good debate just there.
You can verbalize your argument. This guy here is a sack of shit.
Why? Because you fucking don't.
We'll remember that, Jem, for years to come. But when it comes to stone,
explain it to me. Explain it to me.
He's our sack of shit.
Right, listen, mate. If someone asked me what gravity was, I say, well, apparently it's there's a fabric of space time that gets warped by a large body of mass, right? Giving the illusion of a mass attracting mass. It's just an effect of a celestial object to orbit the central of mass. And when we equate to gravity well, but that gravity well happens in a 360 basically every direction, which basically creates an attraction force towards the celestial object. Now, on the object itself, at a more local level, it gives this attractive force pulling things to the center of mass. Now, this force obviously pulls down and attracts every single thing that every single atom, every single molecule in the world is being attracted by this force. And the more of this mass or material, then the stronger the force it will have, and the more manipulation it will have. So, lights of things like an apple, there won't be much. It'd be like negligible. But the ocean, for example, being one large body, would have a large impact and a large relationship with this gravitational force. Now, that's kind of like where I'm going with the explanation of gravity.
Except
you can't even do that.
Almost got tides down.
You can't even do that because you don't understand what the fuck you're talking about.
But none of that was necessary. None of that was necessary. Your question was, how do you have gas pressure without a container? This is a question about the Earth's atmosphere. The answer to that question is gravity. If you want a follow-up question to that, why, how? Because mass attracts mass. If you want a follow-up question to that, which you had, because the Earth has mass and gases have mass. That's the explanation. You don't need any more than that. You don't need to talk about the bending of space-time. That is not that's not part of our earthly experience, and it just isn't required for the explanation.
You need to know where your religion comes from. You need to know the doctrine. You need to know the explanation.
No, you don't.
Well, let me finish, Jim. I never interrupted you. I sat there, listened like a good boy. So, at the end of the day, if you're just going to say the word gravity, I can just say fairies. If you can't explain or conceptualize no one asked you to talk, Stone. If you can't verbalize or conceptualize your religion or your belief to a decent level, then how much? You could just say anything. I could just say what's gravity? I could say fairies. Oh, fairies attract fairies.
You can, but if you did that, I would say to you, what is your evidence for fairies? And you could say to me, what's your evidence for gravity? And then we could exchange evidence. Do you have any evidence for fairies?
We have we could say we have an acceleration, and that acceleration is caused by fairies. That's the point. We don't have to explain what the fairies are, where they come from. We can say we have an acceleration. The fairies have caused this acceleration. That's what you're saying. You're saying essentially there's something causing it, and you don't have to tell us what.
Okay, so what's the fairy explanation then? Let's hear the fairy explanation, and let's see if it will stand up to any kind of scrutiny.
Cavendish and these fairies attract each other.
But you haven't. That's a lie.
Ultimately, it wouldn't matter if they were fairies or what was causing it, because the effect would be the same.
So what you're saying is you can establish fairies in the same way as we can establish gravity, but for you to do it requires that you tell lies.
No,
I'm sure that's true.
No. Again, you have an acceleration.
But are we interested in conclusions that are the result of lies, or do we want to get to the truth?
But this is the point. There are no experiments for gravity. There's no tests or examples or to show that there is a cause. All we have is an acceleration, which we're trying to guess what caused the acceleration. So that's even if it is an acceleration. So we're supposing these things.
That's a lie, and
without actually
no, there
testing
are
on that.
experiments of gravity. You've been handed the lists of the experiments of gravity, so I don't know why you keep saying there's no experiments for gravity, because that's just bullshit.
Because your mass attracting mass comes off what we observed an apple, and it looks like this mass is attracted to that mass. That's what it's based off, not actually seeing two masses attracted to one another in nature. So we've never seen two apples stuck together, or two elephants stuck together, because they're so large of a mass.
It's very, very easy to explain it with the gravity equation, the gravity force equation. It's very easy. It's correlated to their mass, the amount of the mass they have, and the distance they actually separated from. Because the Earth is so fucking big and so fucking massive, it can actually make things fall, and you can actually be attracted to it. Now, the elephant, you can't be attracted to an elephant. Actually, there's a force of the elephant pulling you to the elephant, but you can't feel it because the friction of your feet is far greater to actually move.
I beg to differ. I've seen two elephants stuck together before, but it wasn't because of gravity.
Very funny. Very funny. Looking at flat-tards.
I think it may have been because of the gravity of their love for each other.
Yeah, a different kind of attraction.
Well, it just seems like a philosophical statement rather than a real proof. You don't really see gravity having a universal ball-making force. They impose it on the stars as a general principle, but it's not really observed. So it appears to be a philosophical starting point for exploration, scientifically or whatever, but it doesn't really seem to be panning.
I wish I could
What
just make up shit
non-balls
the
are there
way-
in the universe that you
I wish
can
I could
see?
just make up shit the way Lemon Bear does.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, everything's a ball.
Like, imagine the
planet's spherical, the sun's spherical, the moon's spherical.
I
Imagine
didn't
the
think
freedom we
that.
could have
That's
if you
not
just
that.
make up reality.
That was one of our old arguments that everything looks spherical. We haven't been there. We don't know if they're spherical. They could be flat.
But it's a philosophical statement to
Wait,
say
just so
that
you
it's
can't-
round
just so
because
you ha-
gravity
just
made it
because
that
you
way.
haven't been
Unless
there.
we
But-
see gravity
Lemon, you
form
just had a
stuff into
chance
those
to
shapes.
talk. Lemon, you just had a chance to
Crazy.
talk.
So the conversation said because you haven't been there, we can't prove something. Is that your claim?
Oh no, we're just
Seems
supposing
to
that
be.
just because everything looks like a ball, that it is a ball. But we've never seen behind the moon, so we don't know what's behind
Yeah,
the
we
moon.
have.
Yes, we have seen
Yeah,
behind the
that's true.
Yep.
Yeah, we have.
They would have to look behind the moon, and someone
We
with
have seen behind
someone would
the
have to have a selfie of saying, "Hey, look behind the moon," and then obviously we can verify that there is a behind the
Jim,
moon.
can you do me a favor? I'm gonna have like a serious implosion of emotion if you can just mute these fucking retards for like 5 minutes, and we can explain to them the evidence that proves that the back of the moon has been seen.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I think we'll go for this serious implosion of emotion instead.
I was going to say you don't have to, but we can hear your explanation if you don't mind. Yeah, where is the back of the moon? What's going on?
All right, how many satellites have we sent up there? So anytime a probe goes to the moon, right? It doesn't just sit onto the moon. It first circles the moon and then descends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now the moon is a sphere, right?
Yeah.
So any direction, unless it's a polar direction, a polar orbit, which most are not, it has seen the backside of the moon in some capacity.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Now
that's
your dismissal of
I'm not
my
dismissing
evidence
it.
doesn't dismiss
I haven't dismissed
what I'm
it.
saying.
I said that's the theory. Yeah, that's what we think can happen.
No,
what we
that's
think
not a
that-
theory,
What?
right? It's the fact.
No, I know. That's what we think is happening out there.
No.
But when we
No.
actually put it to the
No. See that? If
You
you
don't even let
want
me
to go down
finish.
this
You
road,
said that you wanted to finish.
If we're gonna go down this
I
road,
let you
Kino,
finish, and then
every
when I
word
tried to
has
speak,
be
you didn't let me
precisely
finish.
used.
So what's with the double
No.
standards here?
Right. I'm saying that you're not representing my argument correctly. It's not what we think. It's
I
not
wanna
a
make my
theorem. It is
point.
what's happened. It's a
You
factual
You gave
piece
us
of
your
evidence.
theory on what's supposed to happen in order to see the back side of the moon.
I didn't give
And
you a
I'm
theory. I
saying-
gave you facts.
I'm saying
I
there
gave
is
you
no
facts.
way that anyone could verify that here and now that we've actually seen behind the moon.
We have. I have many people in here that will attest to the fact that we've seen the back of the moon.
But I know that's the theory. That's the idea. Is that we?
No, it's not a theory. That's why we're not going to move past this. It's not a theory.
How can we know it's not a theory then?
because there are tons of evidence through video, mathematical, optical, that support this claim, right, and show it to be true.
It's
and I posted pictures.
Well, hold on. You
from
say
China
mathematics is
of images of the
proven
far
back
side of the moon.
Mathematics proves behind the moon, the back of the moon.
Yeah.
And pictures of there.
Yeah, China has pictures from the far side, but no pictures of the journey there. Why would they want that? It's just empty space. No one wants it. No one wants
Because we've been to the
verification
moon
that
before.
something
They need-
actually
there's no-
traveled all the way to the moon. Just
I do
turn
not
on the
need to.
studio
I
once you
no,
get
shut
there.
the
That
fuck
seems
up,
fucking
Don. I don't
scientific.
need to
You
defend.
fucking
I don't.
numpty.
Don, whenever you're on a road trip, do you fucking tape the entire road trip?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, all right,
Yes.
Don. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Don, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you. Hold on. Shut the fuck up,
Yes.
everybody. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been on vacation?
Of course, we've been on vacation.
No, Don. Have you
Smooth,
ever
I
been on
want to point out
vacation?
if Don's talking like this, that means he's having a low medication day.
I know.
Rocket,
But I'm just saying.
Like a
I
road
don't.
trip.
He hates it
I
when
don't
say that.
question if the fucking road between my house and the supermarket exists. If I can show myself at the fucking supermarket, pretty sure I took a road there.
And
I didn't
then
fucking
when
jump on my
says,
hippity hop and
"Hey,
fly
are
through
you in a
space time.
studio pretending you're in a supermarket?"
Or
would
if you
go,
said
"No,
you
look,
took a rocket
I'll
to the
videotape the road
supermarket
that I took there."
Yeah, if you
Fucking
said I flew in a
dumbass.
rocket to the supermarket and didn't show the rocket of you flying to the supermarket, why would we believe that?
No, this is not a.
Why would
a
anyone
road trip
care?
or
If
a-
you see, hold on, if you
This
see
is
the
this is not a
rocket,
road trip or a trip to the supermarket. This is a monumental trip to the
no,
moon.
it's
Why would you
not. It's not
film it?
monumental.
Something we've
at
done
all.
many times before.
Launching a rocket is not
we've done the
monumental.
It's a theory, dearie.
Theory,
They might be in a studio
I'm not
live.
comfortable with you calling anybody a dearie, Lemon.
Oh, dearie, it's a theory.
It's clearly.
I'm kidding. But they
you're
might be
so
faking us
fucking
out.
stupid. It is beyond comprehension.
They may be faking us
Like,
out.
hold on,
in a
Lemon,
studio.
prove to me you're not a virgin. Like, show me the first time you've had sex. I need to
Oh
see.
my
Hold
gosh.
on, let me finish
I
my fucking.
need
Let
to
me
get
finish.
the
Let me finish.
people.
That's
Let
a
me
bit
finish.
silly,
I need
that
to
is.
see every second from when you were born to
That
when
is
you
silly.
took your first dick,
Smooth,
right?
please tell me you're not going to ask for video
Come
evidence
on.
of that too.
I need to give you
I think Lemon
video
is a
evidence.
virgin, actually. I think you may
I I
find
need
have
to
to
give you video
visualize Lemon's
evidence of the
cherry
people
being-
in question.
I mean, everyone here, if you want to prove to me that you've touched and smelled the delicious juices of a pussy,
What
then
is
you have to
going
show me
on?
your entire life. You have to show me your
What is wrong
entire
with
life,
him?
No, that's not
including
fair.
your first
Oh,
interaction.
I just got to show my hand touching the pussy. I ain't got to do all that. So
Oh
you change
my
my claim.
gosh.
Wait.
Let's
Been with
get
the-
off this analogy and get
why
back
not?
to
No,
Going
John,
on?
you said
Yeah,
you want me to go
monkey
crazy. I'm
buggers.
going crazy. Don said, hold on,
You
Don
need
just said
Jesus.
all he had
You
to
need
do was show a
Jesus.
picture of him touching one. All right? Well, I
Because
show
that's
you a
what your
picture of
claim
me on the
was.
moon.
You said claim that you've touched one.
There's different kinds of pussies in this world, and if I touched the smooth brain, that would be one kind.
Whose cat you been
let me clear
touching
it
now?
up. Let me clear it up. The claim isn't show me that you're on the moon. The claim is show me that you've journeyed to the moon. Right.
Right. How
So
do we prove
maybe
that
that's
they
where
actually went there?
maybe that's where the discrepancy comes
It's
in.
called telemetry data.
Which they
Don.
lost.
Why would you
No,
even?
what? That was on the Apollo missions. You think the China lost their telemetry data?
I mean, come on. If China been to the moon, let's have a look. Let's see it, start to finish.
China landed. No, they just got like boom, we're peeking around the corner. Y'all saw the picture. They were like peeking around.
It's like
from
when
the
we
dark
ask you these
side
simple
and shit.
questions, it's like we're asking for your life or something. You know, we're just asking a
Well,
very
because
simple.
it isn't that. It's because what you're doing is you're saying that there should be this video of this entire journey to the moon, and because there isn't this video, you're drawing some sort of conclusion or adding at least adding this to the body of evidence of space hoaxery. And I think that's really absurd, because what you're saying is the people who are building these rockets and probes that are going to land on the moon, within their design considerations, they should be thinking, well, even though we're going to build this thing that's going to land on the moon, we're going to put a robot on the moon. We also we need to
I want to verify
we
that
need
my
to actually
boss
be
and my
able to
underlings aren't
prove to
bullshitting.
people on we need to be able to prove to people on the internet that we're able to go to the moon. I
That's
mean, why
the
would they
disconnect.
do that?
You would want to prove to yourself.
But do you think they're in any doubt at all as to the fact that they can make a spacecraft go to the moon? That is a logical possibility.
Maybe.
You think they're in any doubt at all about that? The people who actually build the rocket.
Listen,
do you
if
think
I was the one building the
I wonder
rocket,
if the
I
moon
would be in
exists.
doubt of it. I could
Listen
work
to
at the
me.
rocket
Listen to
factory
me.
right now.
You think those
and I'd be in
people
doubt.
are
I'd
actually?
say, hey, boss,
You're not
let's put a
listening. You're
camera
just
on this
ranting.
because I'm halfway a fucking flat earther because you guys never put cameras on these things.
Don, you wouldn't be allowed to work in the goddamn factory if you're a
See, you're
flat earther.
changing the subject, right, Rocket?
No, Don.
See how
you
changed
can't
the
prove
subject?
Don, hold on. You
No,
can't
Don,
prove
you know what?
thing about your life.
No, shut up for a second.
would be allowed to work
you
in there
can't
if I
prove
had the
anything.
mechanical knowledge to work on your little
Come on,
machine.
Mom.
You'd let
I
me
don't-
there, right?
I don't
and then
get how you
say I
could
worked there like
possibly
you,
draw
and
this
started
out.
hanging in Discord like you, and you actually started being like,
Don, prove
maybe
to me
my
you've
boss
touched
is
a
on
vagina.
bullshit, and I might want to
Prove-
put a camera on this
Don,
thing.
prove to me you've touched
That's
a
the
vagina.
position I
Stick a fucking sock in it, will ya?
No, man,
I
fuck
didn't
this
hear
shit.
any of
Attack
that.
this shit, I'm
Don,
gonna
prove
fucking
to me that
defend
your
myself.
wife didn't cheat on you and those kids are yours. Prove to me those kids are
You gotta
yours.
stop
We
a
can
second.
prove everything directly.
I concede I cannot prove that the kids are mine. I can't prove it.
But why can't you prove it? Why didn't
Because the
you
proof doesn't exist to
anticipate?
confirm it
Why
to
didn't
you,
you
and I would have to
anticipate that
respect
someone was going to doubt your paternity? And why haven't you got all of the evidence to ensure that you can prove that to us?
Because he's a fucking retard.
Jem, you need to sometimes you lead with the question and then the explanation, and it makes me want to interrupt you sometimes.
Don, shut the
Maybe-
fuck up and answer the goddamn question. Tell me how you know your
not
kids
prove
to be
it to you
yours.
that it's my kids. I could not prove it.
You're a fucking
I
retard.
could infer it. I could try to compel you to believe it. I could not prove it.
You could prove it.
Unless I had a
You
videotape
literally could
of-
prove it.
Unless I had a
Dude, we have these
videotape
things.
of me being the only person having sex with that woman, right? Nonstop. Then I had the videotape of the baby coming out. That would be the proof. You guys got to respect what it is. You can say I believe it, I infer it, I trust it, but proof is different, man. Confirmation
you don't
is
know if those
different.
kids
you
are
guys
yours.
have weak-ass confirmation, and you don't
listen,
give a fuck about it.
Shut up! Mute him! I know, you've got to let people respond. So if that's the case, what I'm saying to you is, why? Why don't you have that evidence?
I don't want it.
You don't want it.
I didn't want it, right? So then people didn't want it. I get that point. They don't want.
should have
that's
that
what I open with.
what
They
you're
don't
saying
want middle
is-
space evidence. You guys just don't want the footage of it. I get it. That's fine. But some of us do.
Right. My point is, if you're saying you don't have evidence of you having sex with a particular woman and her having the child and all of that sort of thing, my question is why?
Like, why don't I have it?
Yeah.
Well,
Because-
now that I see that the scientist community wants it, I think that like now on people they would do that to prove it. You know what I mean?
You would be like, hey, can we prove that this man and this woman made a kid? And then you would videotape. You'd have them in isolation, and you'd.
Right,
I mean,
but,
and then you would have.
But
proof.
what you're saying is because these people haven't anticipated this need, like you haven't anticipated it, that you can draw a conclusion from that.
Look, we looked at the Apollo things, right? We know that they take pictures. We were just looking at it yesterday. We did a little exercise of what's compelling or steelman the opponent. We know that they take pictures all the way there.
Right.
We know that they do all the time.
But you're saying that you need it for every mission or for this particular mission.
I'm saying, like, just think about like how cheap it is to do, right? Like,
no,
a
it's no,
cell
no, no, no,
phone
no,
fucking-
no, it's not.
Testing easier.
Absolutely not.
Okay, well,
it is not cheap at all.
yield
It
to
costs
the
mass
expert in
and
the
it
field
costs
here.
power.
But why would you bother? Why would anybody bother? You're putting your mindset in the mindset of someone into the mind of somebody who thinks completely differently to you. Someone who doesn't doubt for a moment that space exists. Because that's an idiotic doubt to have.
Someone who doesn't doubt that the moon exists as described, that it's a solid object that we can land on, because that's absurd and ridiculous. So, of course, people aren't absurd and ridiculous. Why would they be?
Well, they have cameras on it, so I don't know what the problem. I mean, Rocket says it's like, it's a lot of extra power to turn it
And
on.
communications
So
link
I'd have
budget.
to yield to that. But hey, you hear things like, oh, maybe it's things have to make little micro adjustments. I'm just thinking about drones and shit, dude. I'm ready to fly shit. I want to see
Don,
where I'm
let
flying.
me ask, Don.
I'm approaching the moon and shit.
Don,
I'm like, oh
okay.
wait, I'm gonna have to adjust. I want to see it. I don't just want to hear beep beep boop when I'm
Don,
fucking
stop
adjusting and
flapping your
shit. Like I
blowhole
want to
for a
fucking
second,
see
will
it.
you?
Rocket.
What do
Don
you think you're gonna when you take a picture on the way to the moon? It's not like when you're driving to Florida and there's signs marking where you are. You're not going to see anything. There are no reference points out that window that you're going to actually
You could look
see
at the
anything.
Earth. You could look at the Earth the entire way.
How are you going to look at the Earth? You're flying to the moon.
We looked
Your
at it
vector is headed
yesterday.
that
We
way.
looked at the Apollo.
There's no
taking
window at
pictures
the ass end
whole
of the
fucking way there,
ass
man.
end of the satellite.
Put a camera and looks at the Earth.
Supposedly.
But all you're
Kimo,
going to see
we're not
is
gonna
the
we're
Earth
not
getting
gonna do that to
progressively
satisfy your
smaller.
stupid
We've
aren't
never
we?
seen the Earth get smaller and smaller ever. Ever.
Why should we bother?
When have we ever seen the Earth get smaller and smaller, like James just said?
Why the fuck
Kimo,
should we bother,
We looked at it
Kimo?
yesterday,
To
and
prove that you're actually on that
there's
flight.
compelling shots.
Nobody gives a fuck about proving it to you and your stupid 100, 200 people.
Well,
enjoy your
yes, you do.
government.
We will care when the kids care when we tell the children that it's fake. Okay?
You're smart enough to
you'll
understand
care.
this, and you can't do it. That's the amusing part.
Right now, you're helping the children think that space is real, and we're showing that it's not. And that's the point.
No, Kimo, you haven't shown anything. You haven't proven anything. You haven't accomplished your mission of showing that the Earth is flat and all this other junk.
What
Listen,
we wanna
Don
do-
doesn't know if his.
what we
Hold on,
wanna-
let me finish. Let me finish. Don doesn't know if his kids are real, right? He doesn't know if they're his. Like fucking A,
Right.
Don's kids are mine. I fucked his ugly bitch like 6 times already. All right. No one can prove otherwise. If that's the world you want to live in, then no one gives a shit.
You should trust
about
that.
what
Don't
you
No.
expect.
What we want to do, or what the plan would be,
You are
would be
trusting
to
that the person did that.
Don,
you can't
Don,
differentiate that,
where's
Smoothie.
your
You're
proof?
being
Where's your
dishonest with
proof that
yourself.
I didn't come all over your lady's face?
Oh, come on, this is getting
I don't
disgusting
have
now. This
proof of
guy,
it.
what's wrong
I
with this guy here?
I trust that you haven't.
Like
So
some
we
kind
don't
of a
have
porn
to-
film or
I
something.
I think he's
trust
woken up with a
NASA.
Woody, and he's a bit.
I
So we
think
don't have
so,
reason
yeah.
to trust NASA.
Don,
That's what
where's
even
your
if we
proof
gave
that-
it to you.
Where's the proof that I haven't come on your face?
Oh my
There's
God.
not,
Where's that proof?
dumbass. There isn't.
Oh god!
Don't you get the
This
point?
can't go on. This
Let's
is
not,
silliness.
let's not be too gay. I know Lemon's here and everything, and it's good
Wait,
to be
hold on.
inclusive. But
But Panda, Jem, did you just hear what he said? He said he has no proof that I haven't come on his face. That's what he just said.
Time. Whether or not
Can we
you've
not?
actually
Can we
met
not
each
describe
other.
a circle jerk action here? Let's just go on to something else. Really.
yeah,
Fine.
Silly. Smooth.
You know, it's just I'm using this very vulgar example for
Well,
a clear
vulgar.
Okay,
reason, right?
can we please move on? Like this
Get yourself a
is getting
girlfriend
annoying
or
for me.
something, dude.
Let's
Listen,
keep
that
it
analogy's
PG.
busted, too.
Now,
I'm
the thing
owning
is,
you on the fucking
yeah,
analogy. I
smooth.
don't
Go
get
and take a cold shower.
Yeah.
So Don, are you applying the same scrutiny to everything?
No, he's not. Thank you,
Are
whoever
you
said
kidding
that.
me?
You're not. So you're not. So
Why,
then
why you say I don't know that.
Yeah.
I would humbly concede things that I haven't put my eyes on permanently. I don't have proof of.
Then why are you applying that standard to that example as that trip to the moon specifically, and not to other things? I mean, that's scrutiny when someone.
But
is
I
showing-
do apply it to other people. I don't think you're hearing me.
But so you are applying that to everything else. Also in your job, are you applying the same standards? And that you need
This is Mr. Logo.
camera evidence. Yes, that you need camera evidence for each and everything from the first second to the end, right?
What I'm saying is if I ask people to prove something, right, that I would want to have as much abundance until I believed it, right? And in different situations, that's going to be different. But for instance, the situation that Smoothie keeps talking about, I would understand that. I just am believing it, right? I don't trust it, right? Like you know, you could say, I know. It's this arbitrary when do you know type of thing. And, you know, for the people having a disagreement on this, it's like, it's such a rare area. I don't see anything wrong with them saying they want it. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. And they do it anyway. So it doesn't matter if people want to point out like, oh, this is suspicious. Just say, okay, fine, it's suspicious. You shouldn't have to be so defensive about that. Doesn't hurt anything to be like, yeah, cool, they could have more. Doesn't hurt
Don,
anything.
are you playing both sides? It looks to me like you're playing both sides.
You should play both sides, right? There's two sides.
Are you playing both sides, yeah?
The truth is in both sides. There's truth on both sides, so yes.
Ad hoc rationalizations have been made for this fraudulent space narrative. Maybe we need to look into something else that we can make ad hoc rationalizations for. Let's start from a different philosophy and see what else we can come up
Hey, if
with.
you didn't just constantly poison the well with everything you said, Lemon, maybe...
The well needs to be poisoned, drained and filled in with concrete.
Every word that comes out of your mouth is fucking ridiculous, you know that, right?
He poisons it.
Poison for the globe, though, and one day it will die.
I think he starts off really well, and then he goes on this fucking like roller coaster. Like the beginning bit of the roller coaster is really good, and then it goes fucking crazy, don't it? And then you're like, like where am I going? And but I think, yeah, he has got good content. He has got good content, and he does understand a lot of the meanings of what he's saying. It's just that we string stuff together in an order sometimes that makes you think, like, where's the relation to that? Where's the correlation? So,
I wonder why having video evidence that seems to be the gold standard for everything.
Fuck China though. Rocket, they were talking about China.
Yeah, I posted the images from China. Yeah, because it's not NASA. Because I know you guys jump all over that.
Yeah, what we want to see is the ball get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. What's so hard about that? And then on re-entry, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Stop asking why. Just admit that it's interest. Like, this is why the conflict happens.
And you could then do the same as all are doing.
Dude, it's boring. It would be boring for me to look at. It'd be boring for. I'd never. If I was chief architect, and I have been on some, I would never allow that.
Listen, we looked at them yesterday, Rocket. Rocket, the Apollo people had them. Boom, boom, boom. Every couple 100 miles. We looked at the fucking chain of pictures. Right. So you could keep saying how stupid it is and then look at how it's actually done.
Because
so you're calling NASA stupid?
Groundbreaking at the time. Missions to the moon now are like commonplace. So why bother?
You're actually very suspicious, Rocket. If this was a criminal case...
This is humans who took photographs at intervals along the way, which you have rejected.
No, you guys are barking for security.
This isn't good enough. You want continuous video.
You guys don't want, you'd want to look for anything along the way.
He's playing both sides. That's why, Jem. I've just realised.
Wait, so someone has to be on one side and not the other? We can't just follow all the evidence? Are you saying that nothing from the heliocentric model can possibly be true? That the entire vastness of our understanding of reality is all wrong? And that from your one little life, you have proven everything to be wrong and replace it? Is that what you're saying there, Chemo? That you're now the god amongst men, the smartest man in the universe?
Ain't gotta be no
teams.
Well, I mean, it has been put out there that we're some of the top intellectual. I mean, I'm not saying that, but people do think that when they actually talk to us. Yeah.
Smoothie, I agree with all that. Even though I disagreed prior with the other thing.
People do think. I mean, I was just in the Aussie thing this morning, and I was talking to the Aussie guy, and he said, "Oh, you act like you're so knowledgeable. You know, you're so confident, like you know everything." I'm like, "But hey, we're just asking questions, and we're just correcting what you think is science. That doesn't make us the cleverest people or the most intellectuals. It just means that what you're doing."
Chemo, that's a little dishonest.
Oh,
Chemo, you're not just asking questions.
Correcting science. That is so. Oh, so sorry. What's your background again? What's your credentials?
It's not about me, Rocky.
Would allow you to have a position that you could correct science in the whole?
Not about me, is it?
No, Chemo. You're saying that nothing that Don can't
correcting science.
No, the thing is not the background. The thing is the evidence that's lacking to correct.
Oh yeah, right.
Right.
Thanks for that.
The thing is that the evidence isn't lacking. You guys just deny all of it.
I don't deny any of your evidence or what you call evidence.
Bullshit.
We look at it, we analyze it, and we see that there are variables. That there are variables. I mean, I love your experiments, so we can talk about it. We can go through it, but you're failing to fulfill the full variables. So it's not absolute science. It's just what you think, and that's not science.
Failing to bring anything other than unedited videos.
I have a question for Don. Don, if when you get all that evidence that you asked for, that camera footage of the Earth shrinking and to the moon, could you not raise the bars, so to say, change the goalpost and say either, this is all CGI, or there is something lacking. See, I need more evidence, right? So you could always change it then in the end and say, or just say it's CGI with 3 letters. You could.
Yeah, it's a great logo. That's definitely a great common point.
So there's no point in providing that because
no. Let me hit you back with a Socratic. Let me hit you back, man.
You could still change the goalposts or just say, it's all fake, it's all CGI, right?
Okay.
And so can I, right, in return.
Okay. Yes, and let me hit you back with a Socratic though. Doesn't science keep moving forward? Doesn't science do that? Keep asking questions, keep repeating it. It's okay to do that, right?
Okay.
You are it's the science. This has nothing to do with science. It's insofar a resentment disguised as criticism disguised as a disguise of right. You are asking
possibly some.
And in a certain, it also contains a certain dishonest behavior when you're always
do it. Yes, Mr. Logos.
More and more, right? And then in the end, you could say, it's CGI. Throw it away.
Mr. Logos, right? Some do that, but different people get confirmation at different points. And I just want to share with you sincerely, I have a small percentage of confirmation left personally, okay? I just want to share that with you. Sorry.
But basically, we trust and have faith until we see just one, inconsistency in the narrative. The thing that set off this party and made it poppin' was a funny thing happened on the way to the moon, where they faked that shot to make the Earth look like it was far away in the blackness of space by covering over the window. That inconsistency alone makes people say, if they're faking going to the moon, they're probably faking the whole deal.
Thing was hurtful.
Or alternatively, they faked a funny thing happened on the way to the moon. How about that? How about that idea?
But narratives need inconsistency. If they have to fake the moon, they can't go any further than the moon. That falsifies basically the whole space narrative at that point.
Maybe they just wanted to take a
ignore
cool picture,
what I
Lemon.
said then. Probably best. Just
you gotta look for consistency, Jim. You can't just fill in the holes of the narrative because of your space bias. You need to make sure that the narrative is consistent.
Well, I did.
Work, I would be able to confirm it easy.
I did do exactly that, Lemon. That's why I went through A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon and made a video addressing every single claim that's made within it. And it's a pack of lies. Simple as that. That you believed. And you're supposed to be all discerning and clued up to being lied to. And yet you fell for a really crappy, unsophisticated piece of media.
You think so?
Yes,
Because,
I know so.
I think we're looking at lights in the sky, but not really testing the lights in the sky for A to B consistency. Launching the satellite, putting it in the sky and saying, that light right there is the satellite that I'm talking about. I think that element of the narrative is missing a lot of consistency, and also that they're going as far as they say.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Lemon, have you started drinking your own piss yet?
To test the consistency of this narrative, you would need to put a beacon on these satellites and test to see if they're slowing down at a certain point. Like maybe there's a firmament dome in the way, or they can't go any higher.
Are you talking about the
so we need to put this theory to the test and put this theory to the fire to make sure that we're not being utterly bullshitted.
Okay,
Would that
but
be
the
like
question's
putting a
still
lander
stands.
on the moon or a rover on Mars, Lemon? Something
If
like
they
that.
can't go to the moon, dude, by logical extension, they can't go anywhere else.
There's beacons on those vehicles, Lemon.
The moon's the closest. If they're faking with the closest object according to their theory, that's an inconsistency that can't be overlooked. If they can't even go to the moon, how are they going anywhere else?
Would you like a list of all of the landers that have landed on the moon?
I'd like a list of all of the landers that are probably somewhere beyond Antarctica filming Earth-bound terrain and putting a red tint on it and calling it Mars or some other planet.
Wow. Just wow.
I know, they're just so far gone, aren't they?
I reject your narrative in its entirety and I'm crafting my own. Sorry. Now, if you can show inconsistencies in my narrative and a superior narrative to replace it, maybe, but I'm sorry, that ship has sailed.
Yeah, no, hold on, we can do that. I'm calling Hitchens' razor. What can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. Or, to paraphrase, what you're saying is bullshit.
It's true. It's true, Lemon. You've got to admit, that was complete bullshit.
Put your dick in your pants.
Hot mic.
All right, so Jem, are you happy with the results? I told you this was going to happen.
Well, you know, I think there's room for more emotion yet.
I mean, all right, but you can't hold me back. You have to let me go full force.
Is that what that girlfriend rant was, Smoothie? Was that emotion coming out?
No, what I'm saying here, right?
At least keep it out of the triple X box.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, we are live on YouTube, dude.
All right, I can respect some restrictions, but here's the issue, right? It's that I'm pushing us to the very edge of comfortability, right? To show that
cut that background noise out.
That the refusal should be very easy, right?
Branch, I think you've got a bit of a hot mic.
Not a hot mic. He's doing it on purpose.
Sort it out, Brent. Sort it out.
Hit me, Smooth.
Okay, Don. You want to really talk?
Don't tempt me, Don.
All right, Don. Have you ever traveled to a land beyond Louisiana?
Yeah, I miss Rocket's quip.
Are you going to answer my question, Don? Have you ever traveled past Louisiana?
Yeah.
Just the ice wall.
Okay. Where is the farthest place you've traveled to?
Jamaica, probably.
Okay, now you're telling me that this is a fact. You have been to Jamaica.
I'm telling you that I know it's a fact, but you would have to trust that it's a fact.
Okay. So let me ask you a question, right? You cannot prove to me that you've been to Jamaica, correct?
Correct.
So let me ask you, the passport stamp in your passport that says that you went to Jamaica is not good enough.
Hell no, that's evidence though.
The plane tickets are not good enough.
No.
The pictures you took are not good enough.
No. Have you ever worked at a printing company? I mean, seriously, Smooth, this is like not the best argument. I gotta just.
A printing company?
Yeah, they can make anything. Anything. Have you ever
I mean,
seen
evidence like that is good for like friends
Chemo,
and.
just take a back seat for one
What I'm
second.
saying is that evidence like your pictures are good for friends and family. So if he showed his mom that he went to Jamaica or to another.
You can talk about how science is a lie. Just 1 second.
Yeah, I'm saying that if he showed his picture to a friend or family, they're not going to doubt him. But if he shows it to a stranger,
that's not what I'm fucking saying. Can you just shut your fucking trap?
What we're talking about is evidence for everybody.
Listen,
let
shut
him
your
get
fucking
it out.
trap.
Turn it out. It'd be done by now.
Yeah, go ahead, Smooth.
All right. Now, how easy is it to fucking print a passport? Last time I checked, it's not very easy to make a true passport.
Okay, Smooth.
No, I'm just saying, Don. Like, the reason I know you went there, right, is that I can piece together enough evidence that supports your journey from position A to position B, right? If you can
have
show me
different
evidence.
bars. You have like a reasonable doubt bar instead of an eyewitness bar. That's fine.
No, I'm saying that your passport, your plane ticket, your itinerary, the tan that you got, the pictures that you took, the receipts that you incurred, all that supports it. I don't need to see a second by second journey from the moment you woke up to the time you got to Jamaica and back, right? I can use other pieces of information to support that claim, right?
Really? I mean, it sounded like you said you needed information, though. You were like, I could use X, Y, Z. You had a certain abundance of information that was good enough for you.
No, I'm saying that's good enough from anyone, right?
See, I think that's
let me prove to you how I know. Let me prove to you how I know this is to be true, right?
Yeah,
let me
but
just prove
what bar are you using? Why are you saying it's
I'm
good enough
using
for everyone?
I'm using a pretty widely accepted bar. When someone is proven to kill someone, right? They don't always have a video of them killing them.
No, you're using. I said what you're using. You're using the reasonable doubt bar.
No, I'm not.
What bar are you using? Where's your arbitrary? What consistent laws do you have to your proof? When do you say it's enough? Just from I think to I know. When is it enough?
Right. When you can substantiate that you're in position B and enough evidence supports that, right? Then it's
when is it enough?
to have happened.
You can't answer my. You can't say what is red. It's red. What is enough? What is enough evidence? When is it enough?
You already said that. You called.
And he answered with when it's enough. That's when he answered. He said red is red.
No, you called it reasonable doubt bar. So reasonable.
Okay, and then he said no, and I said, so when is it enough? And he just answered with when it's enough.
You said the word reasonable.
Okay,
So
Smooth. When is enough evidence enough? How do you know when you've had enough? He might have cut out. He might have.
How do I know when I've had it?
Yeah, how much evidence is enough evidence? What type of evidence is enough evidence?
When I can follow, when there's a logical path when there's a logical path, right, that allows there to be gaps, but substantiates any questions I would have.
Okay. So again, I looked at the logical path of Apollo pictures yesterday. I said they look compelling, but if there was one note of suspicion I would have is that they again jumped from orbit distant stuff to boom the full ball. There was not really a transition to half the ball.
Don, this is why we're
3/4 of the ball. It went from like 1/4 of the ball to the full ball.
Okay,
so I would for my next mission, I would say, okay, yeah, let me get a video then or something. And I don't see what a problem with that is.
Okay, Don,
did
let me
it
explain it to you, buddy. Don, let me explain it to you.
Go for it.
Just please, if we're gonna have this conversation, let's not waffle about random shit. Let's keep it to the point, right? You never thought to yourself, you need a videotape, wear a GoPro with a battery and an unlimited storage capacity from the second you woke up to Jamaica and back, right? In case you were charged with a murder and you needed an alibi, like you don't do this.
If I knew that there was a fair group of people that were going to say, "Hey, man, we're really suspicious that the authority, could be hurting us unless we know for sure extra confirmation," I'd be like, "Yo, I'm gonna get you that every second confirmation so that we all can get along." I would do my best. I would try to get the uncut video smooth.
But see,
okay, I think we got a little bit of a common ground when I hit you with how much evidence is enough, and you paused for a little second, and you were like,
I'm at work right now.
Logical. You had to give it this arbitrary when my personal logical chain is complete. And I mean, think it's different for everybody.
Right,
Smooth.
but Don, what I'm saying is I'm going off how we can prove people to be guilty of an action, right? If we can prove someone to be guilty, and yes, there sometimes are, like before you say, I will admit that sometimes we do make.
Well, you're
false
moving it to shadow of a doubt.
How long is the interview on for?
You're even past reasonable doubt. Now you're on to shadow of a doubt. And I mean, for this type of thing, I mean, boy, I promise you, there's shadows of doubts.
What I would like to know is, did you apply the same scrutiny for these flat Earth claims as well? And how did
Mr. Logos? I promise you, I definitely have, and that's probably why you hear me running around saying, all evidence I see, except the default micro, whatever. All the evidence, man, is showing that it's a globe.
He's not a globe earther.
All the pilots
so
are getting along saying it's a globe.
So
all
just
the farmers
arguing
are
one of
getting
your
along
own.
saying it's a globe. Everybody's getting along saying it's a globe. Okay.
Right, so exactly,
Mr.
you're
Logo,
not arguing with a flat earther, you're arguing with somebody who knows.
I don't care what you want to fucking label me, fucking chemo. I'm
saying you're arguing with globe earthers, and you are a globe
I still would like
earther.
more confirmation of planes going south. It doesn't matter. And you know what, man? We all.
No, but the point is, Don, is that we've had enough frauds in the time we've been in this. So if you're pretending to be a flat earther, apologising for flat Earth, and speaking for flat Earth, then it seems disingenuous that you would speak up for flat Earth when we're already in a position that needs proper protection. Okay, it doesn't need you jumping from boat to boat.
I'm suspicious of space. I'm suspicious of Antarctica.
Yeah, you don't need to be jumping from boat to boat and then answering for us about how evidence should work, how science should work, when you're a globe earther yourself. I mean, this is like some kind of agent work where you've come in and spoke for us. What are you speaking for us for?
I speak for me, dude. I try to lead you because you need help sometimes. You have weak-ass arguments.
How come we figured out the shape is not a ball then?
I try to white knight for you,
yeah.
But if you don't appreciate
it's not necessary.
No,
we don't need that. We don't need any more confusion. We need a solid foundation, which is what the flat Earth has. Now you come in here with, oh well, evidence says it's a globe. What evidence?
Is your flat Earth model then?
There is zero evidence of a globe.
Because I like Mr.
Can you predict solar eclipse?
Yeah, you keep
playing, Don.
And I want him to know that I want to keep it as real as he keeps it. Okay?
Thank you very much, Don.
Right, we don't take abuse and work hard to prove something for you just to say, wow, there's evidence
You
of a
haven't
globe.
proved anything, Chemo, you stupid fucking twat. You haven't proved a single thing in your miserable little life. My fucking God, prove one thing.
I'll
prove
get to
one
you,
thing. Give me one
Smooth.
fact.
I'm just pointing out
that
your guy here, Don, is not even a flat earther.
And give me one fact. Don't just prove what I say. Prove something to me.
It's a fact. Water cannot curve around the exterior of an object without a force.
Yes, it can. All right, next claim. Go ahead.
That's a fact, not fiction.
No, it's not. You want to see water curving? I'll show you water curving.
Around the exterior of an object without a force? Yeah, show me.
Without a force?
Yes.
Name one place where there's no forces.
Gravity's not a force.
Name one place where there's no forces.
Gravity is not a force.
Name one place where there's no forces.
Right, you don't mess around, Dom, and say, oh, well, there could be globe evidence. No, you get straight to the point. You show these guys that their science is complete nonsense, and the idea that water can conform around the exterior of an object without a force is ludicrous.
Notice how Chemo actually refused to address the question put at him, which is, show me somewhere where there are no forces. And Chemo's yet to address that point. He just
Come on, Chemo!
Thank you.
Stick to the claim. Stick to the claim, Smooth. Stick to the claim. You show me water conforming around the exterior without a force.
No, you're supposed to prove something to me, you stupid fucking twat.
That's what
you
we
were
showed.
trying to. You
said, what are the facts? I showed you a fact.
You useless piece of shit.
I'm giving you the
waste
facts,
of
not a
organs.
fiction.
You would be better used as a fucking transplant to save people. My God, you're fucking useless.
I'm giving you the facts.
One fact. Show me one fact.
Yes, water can. It's a fact. Water cannot conform around the exterior of an object without a force. That is an absolute fact.
Show it to me.
Right,
show me a place where you perform the experiment where there's no forces, you stupid fuck.
All right, let's show you.
I see water stick to my basketball all the time until it evaporates.
Water is not sticking to your basketball.
Chemo, focus on me. Focus on me, you useless fucking prick. Where's your evidence?
Evidence of what? What would you like?
Of water not being able to curve around a ball with no force. How do you know this?
That's a fact, yeah.
How do you know this?
You can test it yourself.
Okay, where did you test this?
I saw Dal, beyond the imaginary curve, pour water on a ball and he didn't stick to it.
Really? So, hold on. There was no forces there? There was no forces at all. There was not a hydrostatic force involved.
I don't know. Was there? Did it conform to the exterior?
But I thought wait, hold on. You made a very big claim.
Yeah,
there,
my
big boy.
claim was that water cannot conform around the exterior without a force.
Yeah, and I want to see proof of that. Where's your evidence?
Let me show you, yeah.
Yeah, show it to me.
I'd also be interested to see how he eliminated all other forces.
Oh, he's gonna get fucked, Chemo. Chemo's gonna get obliterated now. Once he provided the evidence, holy shit, he's fucked. There's no escape for you, Chemo, now.
Here we go. This is water.
Well, this is your evidence, right? This is your experiment that you've tested.
This is my evidence, yeah.
Okay.
That water.
Chemo is presenting. All right, Chemo is presenting evidence that water cannot curve around a ball in an environment with zero forces.
It needs a force. Now, look at this ball with water all
I
around
see water
it.
curving around a ball.
Not without a force.
All right, I said show it to me your experiment, right, that has water not curving around a ball in an environment with no forces.
No. I said it's a fact that you
No.
cannot have.
No. That's not what you said. You said water cannot curve around a ball without force. Show me that example.
Yeah, it cannot without a force.
Show me that example.
I've just posted it.
No, you didn't. You posted water curving around a ball.
No, well, what's the force that's holding it onto the ball?
Hydrostatic.
That's the force.
Right. Show me an example.
How do you manipulate that force?
Chemo, you're not changing the evidence on me. I'm asking you to show me a ball that does not have water curving around it in an environment with no forces.
It didn't. I said conform. That water does not conform to that ball.
Chemo, that's not what you said.
I used the word conform. Yeah. Water
you
cannot
said
conform to
No,
the.
you didn't say.
Water cannot
Chemo,
conform to the
I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you, little buddy.
Water cannot conform to the exterior of an object without a force. And I've just posted it.
All right, prove it to me. Prove me that fact. Prove it to me.
I've just posted it in the chat. Go and have a look.
No, you didn't, you stupid fuck. You showed me a picture of a fountain. That's not proof of anything.
That's a giant ball.
Here. Okay, I proved to you something. Here's a fucking picture of a fountain. My God, that is such great evidence. What does that show me?
It shows an object.
Where's the evidence
shows
of
water,
an
and the
Chemo.
object cannot conform without a force.
All right, show me that you tested this in an area that does not have forces.
That does not have forces.
That's your claim, right?
No, I said water cannot conform around the exterior of an object without a force.
Okay, prove to me that it can't.
I've just posted it in the chat.
No,
You did
that's
not. You
not.
fucking liar.
Here's a big giant ball. The water
So
cannot
finish this
conform around it without a force. Is that hard?
Have you tested water trying to conform around a ball with no forces present?
No, I said it cannot conform around the exterior of an object without a force.
You could have just said no at the start.
No, I can say what I've said, which is that water cannot conform around the exterior of an object without. That's a fact. Now you say you can show otherwise that there is a force that can make water
I'm asking you
conform
to
to the
prove to me.
exterior of an object.
I'm asking you to prove it to me.
I've just posted it in the chat for you.
No, all you did is posted a picture of a fountain.
Yeah, you've shown a suggestion, Chemo.
I've shown a giant ball, a spherical object with water that is not conforming to it.
Yeah, but sometimes it does.
I've proven it.
Well, what's the force that's holding that water on?
No,
All right, Chemo, let me ask you a question, buddy. Why are you telling me that water cannot curve around a ball without forces? How do you know this?
Because I've got it on my big screen that when you try to pour water around an object, it does
Chemo,
not conform.
Where have you
gosh.
where have you ever experienced an environment with no force?
I didn't say any of that. I say when I go into the swimming pool, I jump in the water, I jump out of the water does not conform around my body without a force.
After you've been in it.
How hard is this for you, Smooth? Water will not conform around the object without a force.
Yeah, it's sticking to you, so it is conforming to you.
Right, you can bring up sticking, you can bring up where in nature. I didn't say any of that. I said it's a fact. 100% fact.
It's a fact.
I can stick you. Hold on 1 second, Lyle. I can stick you to a wall without a real force.
Yeah, you can talk about any of that, but we're talking about water conforming to the exterior of an object without a force. Smooth, have you been white knighted and saved by everybody else in the room? Have you failed in your endeavour to prove that you have evidence?
Too many white knights in this.
Yeah, they're all getting
busted.
That's
showing the audience that you're unable to prove anything. You literally have no facts that you can prove
I've got
on
a
your
fact.
own.
I've got a fact, you little bitch.
I'm giving you the facts
I will
here,
agree
Smooth.
with that fact. I am a
You
little
have-
bitch. I agree.
You have fiction,
let's see how far
Smooth,
we can get along.
and we
How
have the
about that?
facts. Now, I'm
Let's
saying
play
to
a
you,
game
number
of
one
quiet
fact is that
talking and no
water
name
cannot
calling. See
conform
who
around the
breaks the
exterior.
rules first.
You agree
No.
with that, right?
Jem wanted me to get emotional, so I'm taking Chemo's penis and ripping it off and shoving up his own ass.
Just don't get to genitals at
Yeah,
all.
don't get so
Like,
sexual.
a complete ban on genitalia talk. for the time being.
I think.
But look,
Come on,
Smooth.
Chemo, prove to me one thing, man.
This is
Come
not
on,
going well for you, Smooth.
One fact.
This is not
One
going well
fact.
for you.
One fact, Chemo. Come on.
One fact is that water cannot conform around the exterior of an object without a force. That is a fact.
All right, prove to me that you've tested water, right, conforming, not being able to conform around an object without a force. Show me an environment that you tested that.
So I've tested water with in the interior of a cup, but if I tried to make it conform to the outside of the cup, the exterior, it will not. You understand that? Is that simple enough for you? If you pour water, you've got to pour it in the cup, not around the cup.
because there's still forces in both examples.
So how did you get the water to stick around the cup and not in the cup?
Hydrostatic.
That's what I'm asking. Can you show me this? Like you just asked me. I
don't need to show you anything.
So it's not a fact then, is it? It's not a fact. You just made up more fiction. I just showed you water around a ball, so you can't show me water around a cup.
Chemo. Look in the debate chat box. Branch put it in there.
Yeah, I'm asking for water around a cup.
That's
Smooth just said.
I don't.
Smooth just said you can pour water and it conforms around.
You said you were going to prove something.
Yes, I have. I've posted it in the chat. He just said he can pour water around the cup and it will stick. I want to see that.
Why do I need to show you anything?
Or concede.
I'm asking you to. I concede. You're the one who's supposed to prove something to me.
Yeah, pour water, like what Justus says. Show that water that's in the cup conform around the cup.
I don't need to show you anything. You have to present enough evidence to me.
You just made a wild claim. You said it can conform around the edge of the cup. Are you retracting?
Chemo,
No,
that's the outside of the glass that the water is adhered to. That you can see there's water inside it, but there's water covering the entire outside of the glass, conforming to the glass.
All right,
so there you
Chemo.
go.
And additionally, you're the one who has to prove this with enough evidence that I have no more questions. I have questions to you, right? Prove to me a fact with enough fucking evidence that I have no more questions. If you can't, then it's not a fact.
What other questions do you have? We've got it. Water.
I want to know how you tested your example in an environment with no fucking force.
I tried to pour the water outside of the cup onto
There's
the
still
cup.
the hydrostatic force. I want an environment with no force.
What is that? Is that water force you mean?
It's a force. A hydrostatic force is a force.
But is it water? Is that just the water?
I don't need to tell you anything. I want the proof. I want enough evidence where I can believe your claim.
I want a 13-inch penis, but I don't always get what I want.
How does hydrostatic keep water to the exterior
I
of a cup?
don't need to fucking tell you how it works. Prove to me a fact.
But it's your belief, though, isn't it?
You
It's your
just said
religion.
hydrostatic. Hydrostatic is water. So how do you make water stick to water?
Chemo.
Does anyone want to just help Chemo understand what I'm trying to tell him?
Smooth, it's your religion, though. You've got to be able to verbalize your religion. You believe it because you understand it, right? If you believe,
we've got the numbers are going up in the live chat. Right, hold on a second, Tommy. You've had your time. You've had your time. So now,
hold on. I'm trying to help you here.
Well, it is
You believe
borderline
you're on a
religion.
spinning monkey ball.
They say a lot of times we don't need that.
Then you should
Einstein. We
let
don't
them
need it.
verbalize
We
your
don't need it.
religion.
We don't need it. So it's a little, faith-based that it's there when we never use it.
The hydrostatic
It is
force
not
is the
faith-based,
force
it's
due to the
evidence-based,
pressure of a
numbnut.
fluid at rest.
Oh, okay, sure.
I.e.,
Okay.
force exert. Is my mic on?
Yeah, your mic's on, Jeremy.
Yes,
yes.
Very low.
I'm low.
But
A little bit, but go ahead. Let Jeremy get in, Chemo. Cause...
Yeah.
The hydrostatic force is the force due to the pressure of a fluid at rest, i.e., force exerted on the wall of the storage container.
Storage container. Why don't you say container?
You're getting destroyed
Storage
here,
tank.
Smooth, and
Storage
the numbers
tank,
are going
damn.
up, and the people are very interested in your explanation of water conforming to the exterior of an object without a force.
No, Chemo, you have missed the object. You've missed the reason of this conversation was for you to
You've sent
prove
the chat
something to me
wild.
with enough evidence that there was no questions. I have many questions. What you have proven to me does not have enough evidence to substantiate your claim. Therefore, it's no longer a fact.
Who said anything about an area with no forces? Who said
listen,
that?
do you talk about the numbers are going up and shit?
But why are you bringing up an area? Hold on a second, Don. Why are you bringing up an area with no forces? I didn't say that, did I?
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I said an object. An object.
That's why we got into the
I'm
conversation.
talking about an
of it,
object. Okay, in order for water to conform around the exterior of that object, you need a force. So why are you talking about going to a place with no forces? What's that got to do with anything? Who's going to white knight Smooth and help him out here a little bit?
Well, no, I go back through the recording to, get to the bit where you brought that up, or it came up, and
Who's up for your
you
class,
were
bud?
asked to provide,
Your
where
next
you were
class.
asked to provide an experiment where you show water without forces acting on it, or something like that. Smooth, what was that?
Excuse me?
What was the bit where you
Smooth, your head is all over the place, right?
No, I'm doing something called work, but let me hear it again. Ask me the question.
And you asked him to provide an example where he was showing water
Brian,
conforming
your
to
next
something
class,
without.
bud.
Without a force. Yeah, correct.
Please.
So, Nemesis, what I asked was for him
It's
to
time
prove
for your
something
next
to me,
class.
right?
Just go get.
With
I have alarm set. Just go. Get ready.
Hot micing, Jeremy.
Sorry. All right. Don't mute me. Don't mute me.
So I asked for enough. I want to see a situation where water is not able to bend without forces. That was his claim. His claim
It's not
was that
able
water.
to bend.
Let me finish. Why are you
talking
being
about?
aggressive? Let me finish. Your claim, as stated in the beginning of the argument, was that water cannot bend around a sphere.
Who
without
said that?
force.
I didn't say bend. Stop changing my words. I said
Curve.
conform.
You said
It could
curve.
be a square.
No.
It could be a square.
You said
It
curve.
could be a cube.
You said curve.
No, I didn't. I said conform.
Yes, you said.
I said
curve.
conform.
Amended it to conform.
Like I said, Kimo, I can go
Stop
back.
changing my words, ballers.
You
I said water cannot conform around the exterior of an object without a force. Conform. No curving. It could be a cube.
Curve.
It could be a cube. It could be
Well, you've been allowed your amendment. Recognize the fact.
I didn't say
It'll be on
curve.
tape.
Get it right. I said
it's on
conform.
You said curve.
No, you thought I said curved. I said conform around the. That's why we're very clear around our wording. Water cannot conform around the exterior of an object. You understand?
I don't think he understands chemo.
I don't think he understands. He's got his head curved,
He
around
brought
a
up
cube.
hydrostatic.
So what happens to the water when you get a back,
No,
chemo?
hang on. But the point is, you also said at the end of that, without a force, and then you were asked to demonstrate that example without a force on it.
Yeah, you know
That
how I
was
know
what
he.
the point was.
You know how I know he doesn't understand because he brought up this hydrostatic force thing, which is has
Kimo was
nothing
asked
to
to
do with.
demonstrate water conforming to an object without a force applied to it anywhere.
Thank you,
And
Nemesis.
he still gets to that.
And that's where we are right now. He's asking me to say something. I'm looking for his evidence of his claim. Why make that your claim if you can't show evidence for it?
Evidence? I've just told you. We've tested the claim that.
Chemo's.
Go on, Jeremy.
Hold on, chemo. Hold on. Your chemo saying something doesn't exist. So if you're saying this shit does exist, the burden of proof is on you. You can try to weasel your way out, but you can't.
Jeremy, Chemo came in saying he wanted to prove things.
No.
10 minutes before,
I said again. Don't change the words, Don. You see, and this is the problem with what you do. I said we have the facts. The facts. The fact is, water cannot conform around the exterior. That's a fact. 100% unequivocal
fact.
fact.
Nice conversation. Can
Yes?
we be nice?
So stop changing what I say then. Okay.
Chemo.
I was very clear on what I said. I said we have the facts.
And Smooth said, prove something to me, and you said this is a fact that you're talking about.
Yeah, we have the facts, 100% facts. That's right. And he said, "What's the fact?" And I said, "Well, water cannot conform around the exterior of an object." And he said, "Well, prove it." And I'm like, "Okay, here's a ball."
Chemo's actually mad.
I said, "Here's a ball with water, and the water is not conforming around the ball." And you were like,
It
"Well,
was, though.
you were like, show me." No, it's not. It's falling off the ball. What are you talking about?
You told me, you said curve in the beginning. If someone would please like to get the official
Give him
recording.
conform. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It doesn't. Let him
Curve?
amend it.
What
It doesn't
curve?
matter.
There is no curve. What are you talking? As if I would use the word curve. What are you talking? My goodness me. Come on.
Yeah,
Chemo, I
no,
think
no,
you
it's
need to
been
take
weird to
your.
me.
I need to think you need to take your Xanax. Okay, calm down.
I am
Let me
calm.
tell
I'm
you
just
something real
saying
quick.
that you're
What is
changing my
hydrostatic?
To me,
words.
At first, you were saying
changing
that
what
you
I'm
were talking
saying.
with the Aussies, and all you were doing was asking questions.
All I'm
And
saying is
that's
that we've
all
got the
flat- you're
facts
just
here,
asking
Don.
questions.
I know you think the Earth is a globe and the evidence points towards a globe, but I'm saying that there is
Hey,
no
hey,
facts.
there's a small chance it could be flat.
Oh wait, hold on. We have the official recording. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, in the meantime, why don't you tell us what the hydrostatic force has to do with anything that we're talking about right now? Or do you want to just retract that whole hydrostatic thing?
Oh, you're listening back to the tape here.
Yeah. I mean, the hydrostatic force thing is the pressure
I would like
of the
to
walls
turn
on the
everyone's
container.
attention to Chemo's last working brain cell. If you listen to the recording at 14 seconds to 16 seconds, you will hear Chemo saying that it's a fact water cannot curve around a ball. I would like to submit this as evidence that I was correct.
Yeah, he did.
Hold on. I was talking about.
I would like to officially submit this as evidence that all the people sucking Chemo's dick have lied, including Chemo.
No, it cannot curve around a ball. It cannot conform around an object.
Chemo
is the liar.
Chemo, have some
I would
fucking
like
dignity and
to.
own
I
it,
would
man.
like to
Own it.
submit this. We have actual recordings of you saying curve, yet you continue to say that you do not say curve.
No.
Chemo,
It can curve
Chemo,
around a ball,
now
but I said
you must concede. Chemo,
Look.
you must concede that you have said curve.
For
I was
anyone
talking
listening
about
on YouTube,
concede now, Chemo.
For anyone listening on YouTube, it's 4:39 and 36 seconds is where he said the curve.
yeah, curve around a ball and conform around an object.
No,
Two different things.
concede or be muted. Concede or be muted.
No, like I said, I said to conform around an object and curve around a ball.
You did not say that. You said
How long is this
concede
going to
or
go on for?
mute.
Like fucking 15
I
minutes.
said
of
curve
this?
around a ball and conform around an object. Okay? So the
You did
facts
not
are.
say conform. You did not say conform.
Yeah.
You said
I think we all know what he meant.
But that's
No, Jeremy.
I'm pretty sure we all knew what he
moving
meant.
on.
I'm pretty sure we all knew what he meant.
No, here's the
No.
thing, Jeremy.
If I
You
did
didn't
say
know what
curve
he
around a
meant.
ball, that's a curve around a ball. But did I say curve around an object? No, we're talking about curving around a ball and conforming around an object.
You're such a weasel.
What is the
it
big
is
deal
so funny
here,
how-
guys? Wake up!
So they're all the same iterations that you're talking about, and that's from 4:39 and 36 seconds up to 4:39 and 52 seconds.
So the facts is that water cannot conform around the exterior of an object. And if you want to use that, if you want to say a ball, I said I've got a ball here where the water does not curve around. Yeah, that's this ball.
That's not what you said.
That's the object that we've got here on the big screen as a ball. But in terms of an object, that can be any object. Now we know water cannot conform around that object without a force, and it cannot curve around a ball
Bud. I'm
without
waiting
a force.
for you to just be a good man.
I've said to you,
Just
yeah,
be
I may have said curve around a ball because that's the picture I
No,
posted
I
for
may
you.
have. You did. I have your actual voice saying that.
Okay, I've got the picture of the ball with water,
Okay,
so I may have said that, yes.
For once, just own up to something. Be a real man, okay?
I've just said
Stop
to you,
trying to-
yes. I've just
No,
said
you said
yes.
possibly.
everyone knew what he was talking about.
Jeremy, shut
Yes,
the
look,
fuck
we've
up.
got a ball here, so you may have heard me say ball, water curving around the ball,
I
no
want
big
to
deal.
move forward with this conversation, but unless you're willing to rise to a certain level of respect, I'm not going to be able to.
What did I
everyone
post
here
you?
knew what he was talking
I
about.
posted you a picture of a ball with water curving.
Jeremy,
so
how
what?
am I supposed to assume that this fucking dipshit knows what he's talking about?
Well, I was very clear in my terms. The picture
No,
I
you
posted
weren't. You said curve. You
yes,
were very
because of the
clear.
video.
Yeah.
That's right. The video I posted the ball and water. So what?
No. Your claim, right, was fact.
Fact.
Water cannot curve around a ball without force. I said
No. It's a fact that water cannot conform around the exterior of an object. Now, like I said, water and this ball, I posted the link, so that's probably what you heard. So what? No big deal. We've got an actual ball with water curving around the ball. So what?
I got a quick question. If I dunk a basketball in a pool, isn't the water conforming around the surface of the ball?
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, depends on your perspective, right?
Perspective. No, I mean it is a fact. The water is conforming around the ball. It's not a perspective thing. It's a fact.
Okay. Well, what's the cause? What's the force that's holding the water around the ball, Chris?
Slam dunk. Will an apparent force do? That's the question, really, isn't it?
There's multiple
They'll
forces.
just slam dunk you,
Is one of those forces the hydrostatic force?
That was a good one, Chris. Yeah, you
But
got
that
me on that
doesn't matter.
one.
There's multiple forces doing it. But
Is
that's
one of
not
those
the
forces
point.
the
It's
hydrostatic
conforming to
force?
the outside of the ball.
There's a force, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So what then? What are you telling me for? I said without a force. Without a force, Chris. Without a force. So what? There's a
Show
force.
us a place on Earth where there's no force.
With water up sticking around to it. What are you talking about?
I dunk it under the pool. I dunk it in a pool and it conforms
They'll
to the
just slam
surface of the ball.
Yeah. So there's a force that's around the ball, yeah.
Yeah, but you claim
Without a
Smooth
force,
asked
Chris.
you-
Without a force.
Smooth asked you to show you a place on Earth where there are no forces. Now
Right.
you're saying there are forces. So you just proved what Smooth was saying. There are forces.
There are forces.
Leo wins. Knockout.
I guess you win that one then, yeah.
Gucci, DG, Armani, Lacoste. What are you saying, boys?
Yeah, I think they win that one because
does
they're
it need
able
to
to
be
show,
force or can it be
they're
an
able to
apparent
put a
force?
basketball in the ocean and show that water conforms around the ball, Brummy.
Boss, when you go to Australia,
Swimming pool.
That's great scientific evidence that Chris was able to put a
when
basketball
you
in
go
the
into
ocean
Australia
to
with,
show
with
water
Frankie,
conforms around a basketball, yeah?
Why do I
when you
need
go into Australia,
I can use my bathtub.
Or a bathtub, yeah. You win that one. So I guess Flat Earth is over now. You've proved that all you have to do is put the ball in the water.
Leo gave you exactly
And
what
it's
you
coming around the edges of it.
Where have you been, Chris, all of these
Are you
years?
straw manning, Kimo? Kimo, are you straw manning now?
No, I'm nervous now. Chris has managed to shut down the Flat Earth with one basketball under the ocean.
So you're straw manning then. You lie first, then you straw man.
What I said. Chemo, remember how I agreed with you that you did say conforming, but you also said the other thing too. You said both things. But I agree with you. You said it can't conform.
That was his second.
No, it can. You've got to put the water, you've got to put the ball
Mm.
underwater, Chris, and then it will conform.
The fact he said earlier.
For a little while, because the surface tension, when I grab it out of the water will stick to the ball, and the ball will be wet.
So surface tension causes acceleration, yeah?
But Chemo, in order to do what he said,
Surface tension, after it's out of the pool, after I bring it out of the water, will allow you to feel the surface of the basketball being wet.
And that causes acceleration,
and all the water will fall off. All the water will fall off after that. See, Chemo, the thing is, they need the container. You fill the container with water, and then you can have water on the ball. But without the container, without having the water in the container, they got nothing.
Stop
Fine. They might want to go and deal with them.
The surface of the basketball, is that a container, or
No,
is
but
it
the surface tension, Chris, causes acceleration, yeah?
It's a force.
No, I never said that.
What are you talking about then? Now we've established that the water sticks to the ball with surface tension. We can move forward. We have our force. Yeah? Surface tension.
Why are you putting words in my mouth?
What causes the water to stick to the ball?
So, Lyle, here's an interesting question. Do we need an apparent force or a real force? Can we use an apparent force?
I don't know.
I could stick Chemo to a wall. I could stick Chemo to a wall with an apparent force.
Are foolish. I'm not going to claim it's either a force or an apparent force.
All right, Chris. How about you? Chris, we began with giving facts. What facts do you have about the globe? I've given you one fact that water cannot conform around the exterior of an object without a force. That's a fact. What do you have in your world that is a fact?
Prove that fact.
In the globe world, the globe. No, I don't just mean like, you're a man. I mean in the globe world, heliocentric world. What are the absolute facts?
After I grab it out of the pool, you'll feel that it is wet. It is conforming to the surface, not the inside of the basketball, but the outside of the basketball. It's conforming to that surface, which is a circular 3D surface, which is a sphere.
Chris, what are the globe facts? Are there any facts about the heliocentric model? Absolute facts.
Did I claim anything about a heliocentric model? All I'm doing is claiming that water conforms to the outside of the basketball because of surface tension. That's what I'm claiming.
Does the heliocentric model have any facts, Chris?
Can you falsify my claim, Chemo?
I can't. You're right.
Then it has to be true.
So give me a fact then about the heliocentric model.
Why do I have to do that?
You can't do that, no?
The Earth is not flat. Can you falsify that?
No, you said the Earth is a ball. Okay, if I believe you, if I choose to believe you, I'm asking you now for a fact about this ball. What is the fact?
Chemo, stop really quick. Anybody else in this this room, did you hear me call the Earth a ball?
No.
I didn't.
In the heliocentric model, it is a fact that the Earth is not flat.
But I never claimed that. Did anyone? Willis, did you hear me claim?
No. But he asked in the, give me a fact in the heliocentric model, and in the heliocentric model, it's a fact that the Earth is not flat.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
good
not
one.
going to give him what he wants. I'm going to say the Earth is not flat. That is my claim. Falsify my claim, Chemo.
Not a fact, though, Chris. You're just making stuff up.
It is a fact.
Oh,
I'm
it
saying
is a
it is a
fact.
fact that the Earth is not flat.
Our position is there's no curvature. You guys are saying there is curvature. That's the biggest claim. The heliocentric model. It's curving. I wasn't done. Yo, whale. I wasn't
No one
done.
gives a shit, Jeremy. You're
The
worthless.
claim, your guys' claim is that the water is curving.
I did not claim that. I did not claim that.
You did claim that, Chris. You said the Earth is a globe. You think it's spherical. You think the water's curving.
No.
Yes?
I did not claim that.
You
You're
do
putting
claim
words in
that.
my
No,
mouth.
you don't. You don't claim the heliocentric model.
He does claim the
Earth's not a
heliocentric
globe.
model.
The Earth is
Earth's
not,
not
a
a
level
globe,
plane.
He's a
That's my claim.
glober. He's a real glober, like someone who thinks the ball is really spinning and flying
Apparently
through
not.
space. That's what he
I
is.
don't think he is. No, I don't think he is. He's claiming that he's not claiming the waters.
It's not a level plane.
No, you're claiming the Earth is a globe.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
Did anyone
Interesting. You're not claiming the Earth is a globe. You're claiming that space. You're claiming that space is a real place, Chris.
I did not.
Okay,
Why-
good. No, you're not. That's a good one. You're claiming, Chris, that we've been to. You're claiming that man has been to the moon, Chris. You're claiming that man has been to the moon.
I did.
No,
Did
no,
anyone
you're not.
hear
Good. I wouldn't hold that claim either. So, does does the globe
Chemo,
have any facts to support it?
Kimo, why are you putting words in my mouth? I did not claim any of those things you claimed that I claimed.
You did, Chris.
All my claim is that the Earth is not a level plane.
So you're not claiming to be a glober anymore. You don't believe in the globe model, the heliocentric model, because that has some serious claims with it. The globe model.
Welcome to the flat Earth skeptics,
It's a bit like Dom. He's not a real flat or glober. He doesn't know what it is. Not
God,
sure.
these guys build straw man faster than anything I've ever seen anybody build a straw man. It's amazing.
They if you're not give right the hand left.
Yeah, you guys should start up a business making straw man because holy fuck, you're good at it.
No
So,
kidding.
Smooth, I've noticed that Smooth, you've ran away, you've disappeared, you've let Chris. Smooth is gone. So you've
Working,
you've
Chemo. He actually has a job, and it's currently around somewhere between 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock his time.
Yeah, he
These fence sitters, JJ, they're trying to discredit the flat Earth, I think, because they're bringing doubt to what we're trying to put out there, and he's not sure.
I just want to know why you're putting claims into my mouth that I didn't make.
Are you claiming that Earth is a globe?
Yeah, we thought you were a glober. That was all.
If you're not a glober, then why are we even talking?
I know. What were we even arguing you for, Chris? I thought you was a glober.
That was Jeremy, the straw man. That's not what he said. He said the only claim he made was that Earth isn't flat.
If you're not a glober, Chris, what are you even arguing for?
Hold on, Chemo, hold on. Anyone that's a glober, there's serious claims attached to that. So if you're not claiming that stuff that's attached to that, you're not a glober anymore.
Exactly. Good stuff, Jeremy. See, that's what we're saying, Chris. Now you've recognised quickly. I'm not a glober. I'm just a guy who asks questions like the rest of us. Yeah.
Hang on. Explain to me the logic of you getting to that conclusion, Jeremy, because that's weird. The claim was Earth isn't flat. The request was to falsify that claim, and now you're saying that means. How does that make sense?
If you're a glober, okay, I'll tell you how it makes sense. If you're a glober, there's a lot of claims attached to that, right? You're claiming that the water's curving around the surface of Earth, right? Is that what globers are claiming, or no?
I don't know if it's a claim outside. It's more a fact than a claim.
Okay, so it's a claim. You think it's a fact. We think it's a claim. Either way, it's a claim.
Sure.
Yeah, that's your claim as a glober. So if you're not claiming that, then you're not a glober.
Jeremy.
Right? You a glober, Druss, or no? Is there curve? Is the water
Jeremy,
curving?
I'll ask my question first. Answer mine, I'll answer yours.
What's your question?
Are you a flat earther?
I'm a globe skeptic.
Why the fuck are we talking to you?
Are you a glober? Are you a glober?
Why the fuck are we talking to you then? I'm a flat Earth skeptic.
I'm gonna
So,
dismantle
you say, why the fuck are we talking to a flat Earth skeptic? So I'm
Blair's a
saying,
globe
why the
skeptic.
fuck am I talking to a globe skeptic?
I am a flat earther. So what?
I'm a
I am
flat earther. What do you want to know about the flat Earth?
So now there are a lot of claims that come along with the flat Earth.
The flat Earth, very simple, very easy to understand. What don't you get? We've got a model, we've got a map, we've got pretty much what you need. What don't you know?
Once again, I'd like to point out to you that I read the patent and I can link the patent for your model in the chat again. And in the patent itself, for your model, it says globe projection flattened and stretched out. Why does it say that in the patent and you continuously fail to mention that it says that in the patent?
That's not what Walter Business says. What you on about?
That's what the patent says.
Where does Walter Business say that?
Not
That's
by
what
Walter Bislin, is it? It's by Alexander, whatever his face is.
The patent actually
By who?
overrides Walter Bislin altogether. Walter Bislin has nothing to do with the patent office, does he?
What are you on about? Who's talking about? I'm talking about Walter Bislin here. He's got a flat Earth model. What are you talking about? Exactly. Stop trying to jump the gun. Stop trying to predict what's being said, what's being thought. We've got a fully working model.
So you're not talking about the Gleason map anymore.
And that model
So you're not
depends
talking
on
about the
the
Gleason
light
map anymore.
bending. Okay. So you can either
So
go
you're
with
not
magical
talking
gravity
about the Gleason model
or
that you were
magical
using
light
anymore?
bending.
So you're not using the Gleason model anymore, yes or no?
You don't know what I'm using. That's how we
No,
wanted to get through.
No, you swap it like more often than you seem to swap your undies, which I'm doubting isn't often.
Look, what we're looking for is globers who have science, not globers who have rhetoric and fiction and nonsense and pseudoscience. Pseudoscience. Not interested in pseudoscience. Okay, we've wasted 500 years.
Rhetoric, but actually have science.
We've wasted 500 years of pseudoscience. So today, what we're looking for are the facts, the actual facts.
But hang on, I have a quote here from someone that you might know.
Because there's no science for a flat Earth, and none of us are expected to know this kind of stuff. We're making this stuff up.
You know, Anthony, I think.
Yeah, that's what we thought when we got into this. We were like, "There's no science," but what we found out is that when we actually go out there.
Hang on, Chemo, that was a recent clip. That's from like the last 6 months.
How recent?
The last 6 months. It was like started midway this year. It was probably January, February, March, sometime around March, April, May. Sometime.
Go on, show me the original.
All right, hang on. I've got it handy.
Context.
Give me a sec. I've got to dig through some stuff here. Give me a moment.
So yeah, basically,
only-
the heliocentric model.
If only we didn't kill Saddam Hussein, we would have known about it, wouldn't we? Had Saddam Hussein been alive, the flat Earth would have
hands on Saddam's, multitude. If you've gotten your hands on Saddam's room of information, here we go. Found it.
Okay, so look, the idea is that Smooth ran away because he understood. He was about to die on a very crazy hill of no facts. Who wants that, right? I said at the beginning that the flat earthers have the facts.
Chemo, you know why I'm a flat earther? Because they can't prove that water is curving. Their biggest claim. So that made me because they can't prove this. Because they can't prove this. Yeah, because they can't prove this water curving thing. That's what made me a flat earther.
What benefit is there saying I'm a globe earther other than stress and hassle and having to prove something that doesn't exist?
Don't really give a shit about it, honestly. We're a small subset of the entire rest of the world that, we have weird hobbies as, the globers, as you call us. And you guys are just mental.
Our message has reached far and wide. Your message, however, hasn't.
You reckon?
A quick quote from Walter Bislin.
Yeah, our message
with the help
has
of the
reached the
simulation, I
four
showed what
corners
the
of the
altitudes
flat
of the
Earth.
Earth.
I don't think there's a country on Earth that hasn't heard about our arguments.
Using some animations, you can learn how to recognize the curvature Earth or in what circumstances it appears flat. So that's Walter Bislin talking about the flat Earth model, the appearance of the flat Earth that he did in his simulations. So
Druss
kind of disagrees with what you said, mate.
So what you're saying, Druss, is that Chemo's misquoted Walter.
Yeah, funny that.
No. Yeah, that's shocking. No, I'm not real. I'm kidding.
So as soon as guys can prove that the water's curving with the spherical
I'll
Earth,
post a picture of proving that water curves. Okay.
You'll have me.
No, he said around the exterior of an object without a force. That's what he's looking for, not just a bubble
I'm showing
or a raindrop.
curvature in reality.
You know what we're looking for.
Yeah. So there's curvature in reality in the post. I've just posted
Who
the
took that
picture,
picture?
showing the actual
Who
curvature
took that
of the
picture,
Earth.
Dress?
Who took that picture? I do know who took that picture. I'll go and get you the details if you want.
Get the details, yeah. Let's find out who took
Sure.
that.
Take me all the time. I'm not going to do it now.
Stop posting nonsense and that you can't back up.
It's
you don't
not
have the
nonsense,
facts.
Chemo.
We
Sure,
have the figures. We have the
now,
numbers.
You've made a claim that that's
And
nonsense.
anytime we get to scrutinise your evidence, we find that it's not
Please
evidence.
now articulate why that picture is nonsense.
You think you just throw things at us and we accept it without
articulate.
question?
You claimed it's nonsense. Articulate why.
Just a painting.
You now demonstrate that it's a painting, not a picture.
It
Not
looks
a
like a
photograph.
painting, yeah. I don't know if it's a fact or not, but we just don't know. We have to guess.
No,
Nobody will know, ever. Ever
It's
will
a
anyone
photograph
ever
taken
know
by
if
a
that's
camera.
real or not. Ever. Because you won't provide the facts, the figures, and the numbers like we do. If I say something,
okay,
if I make a wild,
again,
outrageous claim, I don't just
deny
think
that
of it and
fact.
make it up.
I deny the
It's
fact
because
that you
there's an
provide the
experiment,
facts
a
and the
test,
figures,
or an observation
and again,
to support
all you're
it.
trying to do is hand wave away a piece of evidence that once again
I don't know why you're
shows
over-talking
that
me.
your position, haven't finished my sentence, that your position
that's why
is,
you're
as
over-talking me.
always, full of shit and rhetoric. When are you actually going to
Also-
bring some decent data?
Well, yeah. Also, Chemo, I've just posted a picture.
Yeah, here come the ad homs, right? This happened this morning again.
Hang on, Chemo. Hang on. I'm not finished.
I was speaking to an Aussie guy in the Aussie perspective, and we were
Yes.
talking about gravity.
Yeah.
The next thing
You don't
he's
like us, I
flipping
know
out,
that.
going, "Oh, you're this, you're that," and I'm like, "Whoa,
You're right.
Terry, sort your man out here. We're just talking about gravity."
So I've posted a picture that I've taken this afternoon. It's 4 a.m. for me now. So I took this yesterday afternoon, and the sun that's the sun setting. All of the data that you need is in there. And you probably could dox me. Well, no, you wouldn't dox me because I know that the coordinates in there won't give you my address. So go ahead and try. But yeah, that picture there is taken from my backyard with the sun setting off to the southwest. Now, according to you flat earthers, and I really want to believe, I'm still waiting for you to get me Saddam stuff. So I'll wait for that. But in the meantime, I'm looking at the map that we've got with the sun and moon rotating equidistant from each other around the flat earth. And that kind of makes me wonder why the sun's setting off to the left instead of the right. It's not going the way it should be. So what's going on there? Can you tell me that?
Hooker Picker just posted a picture of a wave. Where's the object, Hooker Picker?
Well, the picture that I'm talking about is just above that.
No, Picker Pooker, where is the object that water is conforming around?
Underneath it.
Why is Picker Pooker posting pictures of just water with no object? Object around an object, Picker Pooker?
It was probed by the aliens.
I mean, you're just going to send a wave of curving water with no object. Well, it defeats the object. It defeats the very question that's being asked.
It defeats the water.
So, we've got fake pictures by Druss. We've got waves by Picker Pooker. Do we have any facts?
The data required for that photograph, Chemo. And I actually dislike the fact that you've just lied because you actually said, I don't know what that picture is, and you've just asserted it's a fake. So please stop lying where you don't have the evidence.
Just a guess, isn't it? Just a random guess. It could be fake, it could be a painting.
What I've done is I've given the exact coordinates of where it was taken, the elevation it was taken at, and I can even provide you a link for you to download the original if you wish.
Is it a fact? No.
Yes, that's a fact.
It's not a fact.
And that same data applies to the picture that you're trying to brush past that I took from my backyard of the sun setting.
I know you guys think
so how
FE
about we go
means
there?
flat Earth, but FE actually means fact Earth, right? And that's what we have is the fact.
Actually, it's if you want to get technical, it's the what is it? The periodic table thing for iron.
So that's why we get a little bit stressed
Kimo,
with
that's
you
a
guys
good
who
philosophy.
don't provide us with the actual facts of the matter. Like if this was
Well,
court, you'd be
again,
thrown
Chemo,
out. You'd be
stop
thrown out of
lying
court
and,
right now.
Hang on, Chemo, that's a
Just
lie because
over-talking
I
me
posted
constantly.
Yeah, I am because you're lying.
Constantly
I posted a picture with data in it, all the data that you're asking for.
I just said to
of
you,
the
if this
sun
was in
setting
court,
wrong
it'd be
direction on
thrown
flat
out,
Earth.
Sci-Fi. They'd throw it
No,
out.
it wouldn't.
They'd say, what is this? What is this guy
Okay,
with this...
explain to me why that would be thrown out, please. This is going to be good.
It's not a fact. It's your opinion.
Well, the coordinates and everything else on it would have a judge go, well,
based on your fact, on your opinion,
yeah,
not the
on the based on the data in that photo, the judge could look at it, find the coordinates, and actually look up where the place is.
Well, go on then.
Same as you can do.
Let's have a look then. Interject, Chemo. To call it not a fact, you would expect it not to be repeatable. I mean, are you prepared to do that? You don't think they could reproduce this?
No, I want him to repeat it right now.
I'll start posting them up because I've got a heap of them. Hang on, I'll start doing that now.
Why would you take that position, Chemo? It's so weak.
What position? The flat Earth position? Are you serious? This is probably one of the strongest positions to take right now because it's very, very few claims. We're not making any wild claims like you are, so this is probably the safest and the best and the most productive position to take right now.
Okay, so when he tells you yes, it's a fact, and yes, he can reproduce.
Anyone here, Dodd? His mic is like super low.
My
I hear him very clearly, dude. Shut the fuck up and stop lying.
What did
There's a bunch of repeated observations, Chemo.
Yeah, I mean, what is this telling you? That you're taking some holiday snaps? So what?
No, that's not it at all. That's not it at all. The data in there.
Who's interested in your holiday pics?
Stop manning, Chemo.
No, that's not a holiday pic. That's where I live.
I mean, this is just pointless. It really is just.
Yeah, because what we're looking for are the facts.
Because Chemo is just going to hand wave and toss away any evidence unless someone actually fucking straps him to the outside of a fucking rocket.
All right, let's
and
teach.
Before he dies from asphyxiation, he'll go, "Oh fuck, there's."
All
a
right,
curve."
let's teach. So what we say, what we're looking for, what we need when we say it's
what
a
you're
fact.
looking for.
Yeah, when we say a fact, we're looking like Don did just say repeatable. So like when I say water cannot conform around the exterior of an object, I can repeat this, you can repeat this anywhere, anytime, any place. Now what you're saying is not repeatable any place. What you're saying is not repeatable anytime, any place. Therefore, it's not a fact. It's what you think.
The observation I put up is
anytime, any place is not relevant to when he's talking about a specific place.
Yeah, the experiment that was put up with the horizon-o-matic 6000, that's the 2 bars with the curvature being shown, is very, very simple and very repeatable.
Yep.
So what's your problem with that?
It's not a fact. That's why. Show it right now.
If it's repeatable, you could go and repeat it.
Let's see that you've repeated it now.
If you think it's false, then why don't you go and falsify it by doing the observation?
Oh, we have. We've shown that water at rest.
Can you show me where you've done that experiment?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you do is you pour water on the kitchen floor.
Let's say it.
No. I want you to recreate that experiment with the 2 beams that shows the curvature.
Easily, we'll do it easy. I'll do it blindfolded.
Where have you falsified that experiment? That's what you just claimed, or are you going to withdraw that claim?
No, it's dead easy. Like I say, what you got to do is show that water cannot conform around the exterior of an object, and then all of your pictures are false.
That experiment. Well done for lying again, Chemo.
Even though it's not an experiment, by the way, but we're saying it loosely.
An observation. You haven't even tried to falsify the observation. All you've said is, I'm going to do something that's totally different, that is not representative of that observation, and therefore hand wave it away.
That observation has a conclusion which is false.
Well, no, it's the fact that you're now assuming that the premise that the foundation that you're basing that conclusion on is true.
So the picture may be a fact
that we have, whether you have a
but
force.
The conclusion
hold on
is
one
fiction.
second, I haven't finished. I haven't finished, Chemo. Stop. Whether you have a force or an apparent force like gravity, it's holding water to the Earth and it's conforming it around it. The same way as I can use another apparent force, like centrifugal force. And I can press you against a wall, and if I spin you fast enough, I can crush
Another point. Point after point. All I'm asking for is one fact, Russ. One fact.
You couldn't spin a fucking coin.
Yeah, all we need is one fact. And everything that they're providing for us so far is what they think is going on.
We're pretty close to it.
Yeah, I think you're
Stop talking over Chemo, please. Start talking over Chemo.
The Earth is not flat.
Yeah, I think you're hot micing, you're flashing.
No, my mic was off, bro.
You can't talk over people when they're responding to you. You spoke for about an hour.
Okay, so let's get back to the facts of the matter. Jeremy, what are the flat Earth...
drivel for one evening.
Jeremy...
Foolish can't listen for longer than 5 seconds, can he?
Yeah, we're just looking for the facts.
It's spilled all his shit, and then when
I'm going to ask you in a second. Hold on, I just want to get Jeremy's fact about
It's just foolish. He keeps interrupting you, Chemo.
He's gone. Foolish is gone.
He left.
He's left. Yeah, he couldn't handle it.
He broke down mentally. That's great.
Well, when you ask the person for facts, you know, it's difficult if you haven't got any.
That's true. That is true. Chemo, you're doing well.
Jeremy, what are the facts? Give us some facts about where we live. Do you know any facts?
You know, you can't have gas pressure without a container.
Bingo.
Water's not curving. Water's not curving at 8
Jeremy,
inches
do you
per mile
not
around it.
realize that, Jeremy, he's trying to
People
abuse
stop
you.
interrupting people, please.
No, man, fuck that. You're trying to use him, Chemo. You're some fucking
I'm about to ask Brummy the same thing. I'm about to ask the real flat earthers, Don.
Jeremy, tell us. I mean,
The real flat earthers,
that was
not
so
someone who
fucking
decides, wow,
disingenuous.
today it's flat, tomorrow it's not.
You could have been like, Jeremy, what do you think? You talking about? You pose like you were some fucking grand arbiter. Jeremy's your fucking puppet underneath you with the fuck. Jeremy's the authority puppet. I mean, the way you treat it, that's fucked up.
Bro,
You know you're just doing
everybody
this shit
picks
so
on
people
Jeremy.
can
Everyone
watch
uses
your
Jeremy as a
shit,
punching
bro.
bag. I don't hear you having the same passion and energy for them people that pick on him all day.
Exactly.
So why are you gonna go?
Chemo just wanted to know the facts. That's all. I'm telling him.
But Jeremy, think about it, man. Think about it.
No,
Jeremy,
you
thought
use
about
the whole room
Jeremy, you
uses
know that
Jeremy
you
as a
don't really have too many facts, man.
No, Don. Everyone uses Jeremy as a punching bag, right? I don't ever hear you stand up for Jeremy like the way you're standing up for him now. Like, don't get all Jeremy defensive because he's Chemo's asking a few questions.
Right.
You're such a shit person, Brennan.
I'm an exposer, man. I expose you, Global.
I feel what you're saying. I mean, it just was like I seen that, Jeremy. You went for it so quick, man.
But was he
so
wrong?
Quick. And Chemo, he's just a little fucking instigator, bro. Is
Was
what I'm
Jeremy
saying.
wrong?
Using you to instigate his bullshit, Jeremy.
Chemo wants the facts,
Don't go
bro.
for
I'm
that.
giving him the facts.
Yeah, you're jealous, Don. That Jeremy has the facts. Jeremy has the facts, and you don't. That's why you're upset, Dom.
Jeremy, are you more bothered about Chemo asking you questions or the way that this room uses you as a punch bag? Which is worse? The day and day.
Chemo asked me a question. I'm answering it. What? I answer everyone's questions.
Care about the facts? Just let you know, Jeremy.
I answer everyone's questions. And we
All
got
right,
facts.
Pyro, give us a fact.
I mean, they're sincere. I know
Don,
that.
let's give Pyro a chance to give us a fact.
Why not Chemo says the facts? Why not Chemo tell us the facts?
I've
then?
just
Why
given
would
you a
Jeremy
fact.
do it?
Jeremy's giving you a
tell us.
fact. Brummy's going to
didn't
give you a
us
fact. We're all going to give you a fact.
You give us a fact. Chemo, you give us a fact.
I've just told you I kicked it off with water cannot conform around the exterior of an object without a force. That's a fact.
Show me. Prove it.
I just did. I just posted a video in the chat for you.
Do it. You didn't.
I just posted a chat, a link in the chat for you.
No. I want to see a water can confined to an object without a force. Show me that.
Here you go.
Listen, Chemo's saying this shit doesn't exist. It's on whoever goes against that. It's on them. The burden of proof is on them.
You're the one who's saying it sticks to a ball with a force. So you need to show water sticking to a ball with a force.
Yeah.
Ocean, bro. So a celestial object rotating around a spherical object in the middle called the sun. Also, we have another spherical object going around it.
Good. Chemo, how do you know that this is a
fact?
fact?
He don't want to answer questions, does he?
No, I will. Shut the fuck up. I'm not talking to a monkey like you, man. Chemo, what is the fact then?
More than half a brain who can answer your questions. And
Chemo, what is the fact then?
It's a fact because you can't show otherwise.
Okay, you can't show otherwise. Okay, good. I'm happy. So when we go back to the fucking Cavendish experiment and we isolate all the fucking other forces that we know of, and that we show that there's two masses attracting each other, and we call it the force of gravity, we can't show any force other than gravity. So why don't you accept that evidence as a fact?
Because it's not true. It's not been because the definition of fact is a thing is known or proved to be true. That is a fact. That's the definition.
You Proved is the key word there. Proved.
You guys know there's other frictionless, like close to frictionless surfaces, man, that would be like awesome to demonstrate mass to mass with, like mirror surfaces and ball bearings and stuff like that. That'd be fucking amazing.
My Cavendish experiment is frictionless, dude.
Yeah. Sounds amazing.
That's exactly the reason why we're using Cavendish experiment, to show you that on horizontal axioms, two objects at a distance will attract fucking to each other.
Objection.
Objection. I'm the one who didn't study physics. Objection. I'm the boxer. Objection. What the fuck are you talking to? Another fucking
again.
You
can attack us all you like, right? But at the end of the day, at the start of the morning, We have what is true, what is proved to be true. We don't talk about things that are not proved to be true. And if we do talk about things that are not proved, we tell you. We say this is our faith, this is what we believe, this is the religion, and we're very clear and transparent about this. But when it comes to the facts, why is he over talking me just so I have to shout? I don't understand. I'm trying to say something.
You keep mumbling and waffling
No,
and repeating
I'm saying
the same
you're
shit
just
again
attacking
and again
us.
and again and again.
You're being very
Let me tell
abusive.
you, the same thing when we provide the
This
Cavendish
guy's toxic, man. This
experiment.
guy's toxic.
You just won't let me talk. Won't let me talk at all.
Toxic.
So when you go back to the idea of the fact that you said you can't have a water to confine on the outside of your object without a force, and I've told you, how can you prove this? And you said, I can't prove otherwise. Therefore,
it's your religion, though. You have to prove it.
I didn't finish. Let me finish, please.
The burden of proof.
Thank you very much. Let me finish. Now we go back to the Cavendish experiment. We were showing you in independent variables that two masses in a frictionless environment.
Okay. You got an experiment. All right, calm down.
Let me finish.
Calm down.
I didn't finish yet. You calm, I calm. Let me finish then. We see two masses attracting to each other. Okay, we see there's no other forces playing that we know of. So we measure this force because it's accelerating. There's a change in speed. There's a displacement. It can't happen without a force. Because just like you said it, we say it. We can't show it otherwise. So as we accept that as a fact, we can also use the same logic as yours.
Oh, you're going on now. That's for 45 seconds. Way more than 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Way more than 45 seconds. Now look.
Well, which part do you want to respond to? The first bit, or the second bit, or the third bit, or the fourth bit, or the fifth
I want Kimo to respond, not the monkey.
You said that you have an experiment.
That's racist. That is calling me a monkey.
That is a little bit.
Go ahead, Kimo.
I think he's revenging you for earlier on. That was very funny. Still sore and upset. But look, the idea is that you've got an experiment. Where did you observe your phenomena to make the experiment in the first place?
Everywhere.
What did
I
you
can
see?
drop my book. I see that the book is accelerating downwards. I throw a ball into the sky. I see the ball is slowing down. It hits a point where the
let's
velocity
think about
is
what you've just
zero.
said. All right, stop going on. Stop going on and on.
You asked me a question.
So look, listen a second. So, nice guy, you've got to stop doing that. Nice guy, you're just making noise after the look. So you said you threw a ball. So look, if I see you in nature throw a ball, how is that an observed phenomena in nature? If I see you throw a ball,
because I'm a natural product of the nature.
Yeah, but I know that you caused it.
Yes, I caused it by a force, and for some reason the ball didn't respond to my force and stopped after a certain distance. So there is a force going against the ball downward.
So let's go back again. Let's try again. I see you in nature. I see you in nature throw a ball.
Show me in nature where there's no force then.
Shut up! Fucking shut up!
I know,
Shut up, monkey.
We're trying to be specific and specify specificity. But look, a ball, you said you threw it. I watch you throw it. Where's the observed phenomenon? You caused it.
The differences in speed, the differences in momentum, the differences of type of energy that the ball gets, the displacements, the acceleration that the ball have, and the direction of the acceleration as well, and the momentum and the speed.
Okay, so again, I see you throw the ball. What question should I ask myself when I see you throw the ball? What question should I ask? I see you for the first time throw a ball. What question do I ask in my head?
Why the ball falls back?
Why did it fall back? Because you threw it.
Why the ball falls back? I threw it. It should continue. Why it falls back?
Well, why should it continue?
Because I put force in it.
But not enough force. Not enough force for it to continue.
Why should my force go away? If I have a roller coaster on a frictionless surface, I push the roller coaster. I wait for the roller coasters for fucking ages.
Slow down, nice guy. Go back to the ball. You throw it. You were answering questions.
I told you. I fucking answered you.
Okay, so I've just given you the answer. You said you throw the ball. I watch you. I have a question. Why did it fall? I said, yeah, you let it go. It fell. I know the cause. What other questions should I ask?
Well, if you look carefully, like a sincere sincere, genuine person and a truth seeker, you will see that the ball is changing in speed, it's accelerating, and the only thing that we know that can accelerate anything is
No,
a Hawking
again,
force.
this is not a fact. You're telling me your opinion. Stick to the facts. Ball thrown, it falls. That's all we know so far. Now, questions are, why did it fall? We can say, well, we caused it. What's the next question? Nice guy. Next question about this phenomena in nature.
Well, I'm actually now curious, how can you have a water that can be confined on a surface of an object without a force?
How did this break down? We were doing so well. Practical, real stuff, ball throw, question, in nature, why did it fall? You said, why did it fall?
Oh my God.
Why? I threw it, you see me throw a ball, it falls. What's the question?
I'm doing the same thing as you did with that fact. I'm using the same logic that you used to prove my fact. What's your problem with that then? It's repeatable. I can measure it.
No, because we're asking about the phenomena in nature. There's no point doing something unless we have questions. Your question was, why did it fall?
Exactly. Why did it fall? Yeah,
because I let it go.
Really?
Next question. What's the next question now? You have another question.
Did you have? Oh yeah, hold on! Don't play me like the fucking teacher guy. I'm here, the one that's teaching you about something called
go on
physics,
then. What's
my
the next
friend, okay?
question?
Or you little fucking kid. Do you know something about potential energy? Do you know what
No. We're talking about what we can see, what we can observe, what are the facts.
Dominoes are potential energy. Dominoes are potential energy.
No, because look, I'm trying to stay away from opinion until we.
Timo's on about dominoes. He's trying to trick you with potential energy. Like
Instead of giving us what he thinks, let's look at what we can see in nature. We see ball let go. Now, what are the questions with that? Why did it fall? Because I let it go. Next question. Not your opinion. What's the next question?
Not why it fell, Chemo. That's just your opinion of why it fell.
Yeah.
No, we're asking. No. Slow down. Look, let's go back again then. So, in nature, we see nice guy throw the ball, and the question is what? What are you not sure about?
Why does it go down instead of continuing in the same direction he threw it?
Why does it continue to go down? What is down?
Towards the surface of the earth.
So why did it go below where you let it go from?
Why doesn't it just continue in a straight line, conserving its momentum?
When it was released from your hand, you want to know why did it go below that level there?
Stop paraphrasing and listen to what I said. Why, when he throws the ball, does it not continue in a straight line, conserving its momentum forever? Why does it go towards the surface of the earth?
Because the force wasn't strong enough, right?
What force?
That he created when he threw it.
It's air resistance, Chemo. It's air resistance. It's a trick question. It's air resistance.
Are you talking about throwing or just letting it go now?
It's air resistance.
You're making him even stumble upon a trap now.
It's air resistance, Chemo.
Well, you did say I can throw a ball. I can throw a ball. Are you talking about throwing it or letting it go?
Air resistance, Chemo. Air resistance.
Why
I'm
don't
trying to
we
say,
float like
look, if you throw it inside, if you throw it in space,
like balloons.
So air resistance, I've heard air resistance, and I've heard something else. So why doesn't the ball just stay floating in the air once it slows down from air resistance?
Because it's too dense for the medium that it's in.
Hold on, Chemo. You've been hogging a lot this, right? Let me just finish these two idiots here, right? Solid things go down. They have a downward attraction, not because of the bending the warp and the space time going down. Hold on. I haven't finished my explanation. Your pseudo gravity, your pseudo space, apparently. That you throw an object in space, it will go on forever. But we don't believe in a violation of second law of thermodynamics, so we can't test and see that trail for ourselves. So here on Earth, right, we're led to believe that solids are attracted to the ground and gases are attracted upwards, right? So that's why it tends to have like a downward arc. As you throw it, the air resistance slows it down in its trajectory, and the downward attraction that solids have will then take place, and then that's where you get the curved motion of the ball. Thank you.
What downward attraction?
Well, if you look in the real world, right? If you live in the real world, you'll notice that solids are at the base of the floor. Then on top of the solids, you'll have the water. And these two things only have a downward vector. But then you have hold on, let me finish. I have not finished. 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 So then you have gases above that, right? Steam, condensation, and above the clouds you have like the lightest forms of air, such as hydrogen, nitrogen, and helium. So that seems to be the gradient of the world. So we notice that gases tend to take an upward bias, and solids and liquids they have a downward bias. Yeah, an upward bias. They go upwards.
Upward bias. You're inventing your terms now.
No. I'm telling you what I see empirically with the observations of the real world. I'm not invoking gravity. I'm not invoking a pseudo force. I'm telling you what I see with the real world.
Okay, what makes them do that? Why do they do that versus gases being at the bottom and solids being at the top?
That's the nature of the universe, my friend. Welcome to Earth.
So now you're just saying it just does, lol.
Good as saying God made.
Why are bricks bricks? Why is water water? Why is air? Why
That's fine. You still haven't explained
why do I fart? Why do I breathe? Why?
For a flat earther who wants to know the whys of things, the causes of the effects, you seem to be perfectly fine just hand waving it and saying because that's how it is.
We're not hand waving. We're seeing what we see empirically. We're seeing empirical data, empirical evidence, right, of the real world. We're not invoking pseudoscience or pseudo forces. You guys invoke a force. Therefore, you have to prove this force, and you can't prove this force. You can't prove it. It's a pseudo force.
You're not invoking anything, though. You're just saying it's like it because it is.
It's an
that's an actual.
Science doesn't deal with it. Science doesn't deal with how we deal with what it is.
Explain the results of Cavendish experiments then. Why do we see two
electromagnetic forces, star rotational forces? It could be loads of different
Star
things.
rotational force. The fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about anything but the fact of mass attracting mass.
So just shitting on ad hoc excuses just to deny gravity.
No. The Cavendish experiment's a good demonstration. Look, you've changed the subject now, haven't you? Because you know what, you got battered on the last subject, and now you're moving it to Cavendish.
Battered in the last. The fuck are you talking about? Reasons.
Battered. You got battered.
What got battered? Reasons.
You got battered.
How?
We got
the only thing you said. The only thing you said. Well, we have this arrangement because it is.
Kimo, I hate the floor to you. I don't need to talk to these monkeys.
That's the only thing you said. You just thrown your hands up. You said, "Well, this is the way it is, and that's the way of the universe." Voila.
Why is the sun the sun?
Like that?
Why is the sun? What is light?
Explain
to me what light is. Where does light come from? What's light?
I'm shifting the subject.
Light's just saying. Light, bro. No, you shift the subject. I shift the subject. That's how you work in it. That's how you debate. You shift the subject. I shift the subject.
I gave a literal quote of you, and then you accused me of shifting the subject. The fuck are you on about reasons? The fuck are you on about?
I'm on about you shifting the subject. So I shifted.
How can I shift? How can I shift the subject when I give a quote?
Because you was on about why things go down and why things go up, and then you started talking about Cavendish.
I said jack shit about Cavendish. I just gave you a. Shut the fuck up! I'm not finished.
Are you choking on a big fat dick? Are you choking on a big fat dick? Are you choking on a big fat black dick right now?
So we need a 45-second limit, I think. Is that fair? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm done. I've got to go out anyway. I'm just you know, they're trying to trick you on this situation here with
Later, dum dum.
Yay! Going, yay!
Hey, you'll be back soon though, Brummy, right?
I'm always watching.
Oh. But yeah, you guys have a hard time bringing facts, figures.
Chemo, stop lying.
It's not a lie. It's true. That's the
stop lying.
Chemo, I've got a question about your explanation for the ball thing. Like, if you throw a ball up and at some point it will go down, it's because not enough force has been added. Correct?
Well, you could say.
Well, that was what you said anyway.
You said up. I was thinking just throwing it straight out in front, horizontally. But if you throw it up, and depending on how much force, like if you were to throw it into space, would it come back down?
Well, that's not the question. If you just throw a ball up, and eventually it will just come down again.
If you throw it into space, will it come back down?
Well,
give the ball enough velocity, we call it the escape velocity, the ball won't come back to Earth. We call it the escape velocity. If you're sincere enough, you can actually Google those things and you can come back and debate with us.
What if I threw it at the speed of an oxygen molecule?
Or the speed of a rocket?
You could also just answer the question, Chemo.
Yeah, that's not the question.
All right, fair enough.
What I'm trying to establish here, Chemo, is whether where you think that if a object loses the amount of force that it has been given in order to do a certain motion, and as soon as that energy is depleted, that it will return to its former position. Do you hold that to be true?
No, I mean, I think any object that's not in equilibrium.
What's equilibrium?
So how I understand it, well, I think the definition says when there are equal forces acting on it, but that would include gravity, which is not a force. So obviously, when something's at rest or equalized, it has no weight, what you call weight, and it cannot be weighed. So that's what I would call equalization. So like gases, when they find their equilibrium.
So if something is in equilibrium, it has no weight.
You can't weigh. It cannot be weighed.
Well, what's the difference between it cannot be weighed and it has no weight?
And to weigh it, you'd have to take it out of equilibrium.
So if I put a rock on a scale, is it then out of equilibrium?
Yeah. So if you put a rock a different medium, then you won't be able to weigh it. Quite right.
Which is the different medium, or what are you talking about, different medium?
Oh, well, that depends on what the medium is, right? Like if you took let's just use what you know as in space. If you took the rock to space, you wouldn't be able to weigh it. Weightless. That's just one example. If I put a basketball on top of the ocean or on top of water, you can't weigh the basketball unless you know obviously how much water there is, and you've got to work out these displacement things. But essentially, if you didn't know those things,
wait. So it's displacing things? Why is it displacing things if it's at equilibrium?
Well, because you've got the. Well, it depends on what. I was thinking of a bathtub. If you put a basketball in like a swimming pool or a bathtub, you've got the walls that it's going to press on. But in the ocean, are we going to displace the water? Really? You're going to be able to measure that? Weigh the ball?
Well, it must displace it, right? Because if I take a bathtub, for example, which is so small, or like a little tub of water, which is so small that I can visually see the change if I chuck a basketball in there.
That's fine. That's in a small container. But let's say
so why would it behave differently on a bigger container? Like it's still displacing water.
Yeah, but if you
because
take
it's
a giant
partially submerged.
If you take a giant container ship in the middle of the ocean, put it in the middle of the ocean, you wouldn't be able to weigh that ship unless you already knew how much it weighed. There's no way.
Why can't you weigh that ship?
Because it's in equilibrium.
So it's in equilibrium. However, it does displace things.
But you wouldn't know how much it weighs. Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm missing the point here of something which is at equilibrium.
Well, what I need to hear from you,
is at rest.
Yeah, but I need to hear from you. Yes, I can weigh it when it's in the ocean. That's all you need to say. Is yes, I can. Very simple. And then you proceed to tell me how you weigh the giant container ship floating on the ocean.
No, that's not the thing. The whole point is that we've got this definition of at equilibrium, which is basically similar as for something to be at rest.
Yeah.
You said when, for example, a rock is on a scale and it displays a weight, it is therefore not in equilibrium. It's not at rest.
Disequilibrium. Yeah.
Something which is not weighable by like putting a scale under it is then in equilibrium, so at rest.
Sorry, if put what
when
on a
those
scale?
objects. Sorry.
I didn't understand what you said. You put something on a scale.
Yeah, your example of the boat?
Yeah.
Saying like, well, you can't weigh it. Well, if you have a boat in the water and you
in the ocean,
duct tape
in
a
the
scale underneath
bath,
it,
you can, but in the ocean, you won't be able to weigh it now.
I'm coming back for you, Kimo. Just give me some minutes. I'll be coming. I'll bite your ass.
I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting. We're waiting.
It's weighing down on the scale because if the scale weren't there, it would keep on falling until it finds an equilibrium state at which no falling would happen.
I have one question. It will blow your mind. A rock on a scale. A rock on a scale in your room and a rock on a scale in a vacuum chamber. Is there a difference? Is there no difference? I will be quiet now. Brainstorm now.
Probably would be a little different. There's pure ether in the vacuum, so more ether would probably be flowing through the rock
There is no such
manifesting a slightly different way.
There is no such thing as a vacuum.
Good. Give me your answers.
All you have is a low pressure area. Where in nature do we see a vacuum void of anything? Anywhere.
Void? Void? We have less. The vacuum is more purified, but the closest thing to less would be your lungs. Maybe under a wing.
Like nothing there, a complete void. Vacuous.
Again,
Less,
chemo.
but not
Low
necessarily
pressure
not.
and vacuum are synonymous.
The idea, if we've got any gases or particles, then it's not a vacuum.
That's not true.
Yes, it is, because you just got low, pressure.
In space, there are different types of vacuums. There's like hard vacuums. There's even in space, there's no like total vacuum because there's always going to be particles.
Before you go on. If you were to
hang on, let me finish.
Hold on, no, because I wasn't finished my point. Before you go on.
Chemo.
So you see when the containers
just
collapse.
Let me finish what I'm saying, and then you can continue. Why do you have to interrupt?
Because you just jumped on my point when I wasn't even finished my thought. I was talking about the containers, and you just jumped. Yeah, it is. And I'm like, well, hold on. Let me explain what I mean. Is that once you remove all the particles from the container will collapse in on itself because there is no particles there. That's why you can't create a complete vacuum. There has to be something there to keep the container in place. What I was saying.
The ether.
Demonstrably false. You have.
I don't even understand what you're saying.
So why do the giant containers collapse in on themselves?
How can nothing give structural stability that's philosophically unsound?
Is greater than what the integrity of the walls can hold. It has absolutely no bearing whatsoever on what you're talking about inside the container.
So you're saying in a plastic container,
that there's an ether in the container, giving it structural stability. To think that nothing can give structural stability is
clearly
absurd.
doesn't. Don't be absurd, Lemon. Stop making shit up, please.
No, you don't have any facts. Lemon, we were talking about facts today. It's been a great day. The Globers have no facts whatsoever. And I gave a fact about water cannot conform around exterior. Jeremy gave a fact about gas pressure next to a vacuum.
You've made assertions.
What facts do you have, Lemon, about the flat Earth?
So, hey, when they do the big vacuum chamber at NASA or whatever, is that like it's like we're seeing empty space in there? Like it's sucking out most of the air, and right? I mean, like
no, it's not sucking.
There
it's
must
not
still be ether there. Logically, there must still be something to give it structural stability,
So,
like ether.
What Kimo was asking about? Why do the containers collapse in on? So it has nothing to do with. It has to do with the pressure outside of the container. Has the existence of a vacuum itself is not what causes a collapse.
Yeah, you're giving one variable.
One interpretation.
That's not even.
I reject that interpretation.
Not one interpretation.
It's not
That's
even an
just the way it
interpretation
works.
because you're saying gravity that is pressing on the atmosphere is pressing on the container. Gravity's not a force, so where's the pressure coming from?
Okay, you just claiming one that gravity is not a force doesn't debunk anything or prove anything, and two, again. Are you asserting that air pressure doesn't exist?
How does air pressure crush the
Pressure
can?
exists, yes, but it's not enough to crush it like that. It's more like elastic.
You're saying when you're creating such a differential in pressure, right? Are you actually looking at empty space inside that other
It's
vessel?
not the pressure that's doing it. It's taking space out of the inside of the container, and elastic space is pulling on the
that is what they
inside
call
like,
pressure, trying to
sticky
fill the
tape.
space. They call that pressure for some
Could be,
reason.
Lemon.
It's not pressure from outside. It's the sticky tape space from within pulling space as it's leaving the container and being evacuated. It's more of an internal force. And the interpretation that I go with.
Lemon, you're just bullshitting on the monologue.
He ain't bullshit.
No, it's just another interpretation. We got to go down
it's
another
you making shit up.
He's not making up anything. You just
Yes,
keep
yeah,
saying it
he
in his way, and you keep like even when Chemo said this simple thing, you were like,
I don't feel 14 pounds of pressure on my body. I've gotten used to the pressure very much, and it's not pressing down on me like a weight. So there has to be something else going on here.
Why does the barometer next to you read the pressure then?
I don't feel it, so it
So
must
when you
not exist.
evacuate, quote unquote, the space just takes, the rest of the container with it like glue, like sticky tape. It's
It must not
elastic.
feel
See how
it.
you just got
Therefore, since I
Lemon's
don't
saying
feel
there
it, it
must
must
be an
not exist.
additional component, and you
God
turned
damn
that
it.
into, oh, it must not exist. was a
So
terrible
why
interpretation.
don't we test this with something that can be averted inside out? If it was external pressure, it would crumple. If it was internal elastic space taking the container with it like sticky tape, it should avert and turn inside out, should it not?
I don't have any idea what you're talking about. What you're saying doesn't
It's
make
an
any sense.
experiment. If outside pressure from outside to within is crumpling it up like a can, it will just turn into like a ball or something. If it was
ball
being
or
evacuated and space was taking the walls of the container with it like adhesive sticky tape glue, then instead of it turning into a ball being pressed from the outside in, it should evert. Turn inside out. The inside should somehow go outside the container and it should avert and explode.
So,
From
do you have any
inside out.
evidence of it in like? Would you say
The
evert?
closest thing. Yeah, it would be like taking an octopus and making it surface really quickly. It quite literally explodes. The insides go outside of the thing like it's turning inside out.
Okay,
At
but we're
least
not
that's
talking about octopuses. So an octopus surfacing really quickly can have a different. Human beings, for example, when they get the bends, it's not because they're turning inside out, Lemon. It's because the nitrogen bubbles in the nitrogen in their blood is turning into bubbles, and it's due to going from a high pressure to a low pressure.
It would be an interesting experiment.
They've done it before. People who have ascended too quickly, you have to put them in into a
decompression tank,
decompression chamber, a hyperbaric chamber, where they then slowly decrease the pressure, because otherwise you're going to get the bends, and that doesn't mean you turn inside out.
Interesting. It's good to look at other interpretations of the experiment. I'm going to go with the ether flowing in and out of the vacuum.
Can't breathe, guys. I'm having a hard time.
I wish they'd teach me that when I went scuba diving. Don't ascend too quickly, otherwise the fucking ether will get your ass.
Turn inside out.
You'll turn inside out because of the ether. Bruh.
God bless you.
I hope.
Everyone.
It's all
I
about
hope
the
for
ether.
you, Lemon, that you don't start scuba diving.
That's all about the ether.
Well, seeing how ether has never been proven, despite what you might claim, I don't know how it could be about the ether.
It's a good experimental framework. I don't need direct evidence. Good experimental framework.
It's not
space
good.
Not be a nothing.
It's not a good framework at all. Something that's
It
never
is.
been proven to exist is not a good framework to begin experimentation.
We don't always prove all of the foundations that we use to make experiments. We don't always prove the foundations of our experimental framework. We haven't proved that logic exists or reason exists, yet they're central to the scientific paradigm and are very much part of it. So there's no need to prove everything in your paradigm. You just need to show that it gives, functionality and helps explain things. And the ether does that.
Not really.
With or without direct proof.
Not really. Ether doesn't really explain anything. You still
It
think the Earth is
explains why we
flat.
have fields everywhere.
Your
It explains
belief about
action at a
ether has not
distance.
led you to an accurate interpretation of the nature of our universe.
Just some math and some numbers. It explains all the fields that we're surrounded with. It explains action at a distance. It appears to imply that we're in a continuum, that there's no such thing as vacuum separation. It is very elegant philosophically and can open up routes of exploration.
Cool. But we already know that we already know that everything you're saying right now has been demonstrated to exist with science.